We tell him.
Fuck that house now. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it.
Bruh. Yo, my God. I have no words tonight, bro. I have no words tonight, bro. Bro, you know how this night, this is gonna be I already know before the stream starts, the Clippers Nation is about to run up in here like gangbusters, bro. Like gangbusters. The Clippers Nation is about to run up in here.
I don't care. Yeah, no, bounce all in. Yeah,
we back, y'all. It's Nest Kingdom. Welcome to the kingdom. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
God.
Very, very, very embarrassing loss. If you're joining us right now, we just lost to the Clippers 120-116. We are officially in second place as the Bulls won tonight. I'm here with Chubbs. Disappointing.
And on the day I bought a new badass hoodie, Brooklyn
check that
Nets.
hoodie out, bro.
That dude, hoodie. Look this thing. Look at the hood, bro. My son.
I didn't see that.
That's dude, my son found me. I'm telling you, my son peeped this from across. We're upstairs in a mall, walking on the opposite side of the railing. He peeps it from like almost 100 yards away and goes, "Dad, over here," and finds one in his size and my size only. So I was like, "Oh, it must be destiny."
Tough.
God damn, it's great.
We'll see what happens when we gotta talk about Saints hoodie tonight, bro. That's the only good thing that we could talk about tonight. Saints hoodie is fire. Saints hoodie is fire.
Right? That's the best thing about. Yeah, and I didn't even show you the back, bro. I didn't even show you the back. So damn.
Yeah, if you watch this in the replay, man, just rewind it back to see that. Rewind it back.
That's it. Killing me.
Let me shout out to people in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share the live. Shout out Daquan, yes sir. What's up? Isaac, hey, choked. JG Yam, what's up? Evelyn Orleans, what's good? Brian Flores, David Rowland, hey, Mac, Isaac, what's good? My Holy King, Claude, Julius Blunt, Young Boy Ray, Midnight Age, what's up? Kusanaji, hey. Lenny Beeson, El Barbu, what's good? Go Nets. Who else is in here? John Cummings, hey, John Cummings, BFB, Matthew, what's good, Matthew? Hemi Gang 57, what's up? And Sports Insight, what it is. All right, so the first quarter, the Nets led the Clippers 30-29. Again, this game was went back and forth. I feel like the Clippers kind of hit us they punched us in the mouth early. Like we weren't expecting the Clippers to play like this. They came out shooting, 3-point shooting was. If the Clippers can shoot like this when Kawhi and Paul George come back, oh my God. I mean, they were shooting from three. Reggie was hitting. Terrence Mann. Oh my God, who was this guy? Some guy, I forgot his name. I didn't even know the Clippers' names that beat us tonight. But the first quarter, we led 30-29. First half, the Nets led the Clippers 53-49. KD had 16 points at the half. Harden in the first half, Harden was really bad, y'all. I'm sorry, he was.
Yeah, he was bad.
He disappeared for us. This is what happened to Harden in the first half.
I'm going ghost.
But in the third quarter, Harden came alive. Harden woke up in the third quarter. Harden in the third quarter scored 16 points in the third quarter. What an amazing third quarter for Harden. So he came back after he went ghost. He came back in that third quarter, scored 16 points in that third quarter. And like I said, we had the lead. It's like this game was a whole bunch of runs by the Nets, and the Clippers would just cut the lead down. We would go up by 13. Clippers come back, shoot a couple threes. We're down. Well, they're down by 7. We would go up again by 14. Clippers cut it. We would go up again. The Clippers cut it. Like it was literally that's the story of the game. We go up, Clippers cut it. So the fourth quarter came. We made a run. Clippers cut the lead again down to 98-92 with 7 minutes left. We went on another run. Clippers cut it down 100 to 107 with 4 minutes left. Patty Mills. This was a crucial part of the game. 100-107, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Patty Mills fouled out in that 4-minute mark. That's when things went kind of awry. Steve Nash subbed in Bruce Brown for Patty Mills. How'd you guys feel about that? So the fourth quarter lineup was Bruce Brown, KD, Harden, Bembry, and I think James Johnson.
Before you go there, I do think you have to say a little bit about. I think you have to acknowledge that KD kind of.
I'm going ghost.
Hold on. You're saying KD was getting doubled though.
I know, but
KD was getting doubled.
If I'm being honest,
wasn't passing him the ball.
You can't completely go at Harden on this one. Like he had 8. The Age posted it earlier.
KD,
he did have 8 dimes.
KD didn't score in the fourth.
I'm just saying, like
they did score in the fourth.
Because if you look at their, let's talk real before you move on to that though, just real quick, so we know what we're talking about here, as far as stats wise, right?
Yeah. We gotta break down the fourth quarter of the. We gotta break down who was scoring in the fourth. Like we gotta break down like.
Well, we lost Patty, right? Yeah. So that went out, and then I don't even know. Like, oh shit! I have to. I'm gonna bring up the game.
We need. If you got the fourth quarter stats,
I'm gonna bring up.
DM us right now. DM us the fourth quarter.
No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up. The game, the NBA TV fourth quarter breakdown, where it breaks it down, and that way we can be very efficient.
We want to be accurate with here.
Right.
We want to be accurate.
Yeah.
But from my point of view, again, I'm not saying KD was amazing in the fourth. Both Harden and KD missed a crucial free throw in the fourth quarter. They both messed up this game. Yes, they both messed up.
Yeah, for being honest, both of them were ghosts in the fourth quarter. I'm not gonna say that, but in the fourth quarter, they both had mistakes.
What happened to me in the fourth quarter? Again, the Clippers were shooting hot. When Patty went out, right? This gave, and this kills me because Ty Lue wasn't even coaching. The assistant coaches, brilliant. Whoever the assistant coaches for the Clippers, brilliant. Because what he did, he's like, okay, Patty's out, right? Nash subbed in Bembry or Bruce Brown. No, Bruce Brown, JJ, and who else was in the game? Bembry or whoever's in the game. He's like, listen, the Nets have no shooters besides KD and Harden. I'm gonna double KD and let Harden kind of be on an island by himself, right? Yeah. So when KD's getting doubled, you have no one to space the floor with. The floor is not spaced.
KD, if I'm reading this right, KD only had 4 points in the fourth quarter.
That's
a ghost. I'm adding those up.
That's disgusting.
That's a ghost.
How much did Harden have?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Because to me, I felt like KD didn't get the ball enough in the fourth quarter. That's just to me. I didn't feel like, but again, he was getting doubled, and I understand if Harden wants to go hard and try to score, because like I said, KD's getting doubled, so Harden's like, okay, let me be aggressive. But then they like Harden drives, they trap or whatever, he kicks it out, and we're letting JJ shoot threes. JJ. Or Bembry or whoever's in, those guys are not.
I'm gonna be honest. That results that I kind of have to put a little blame on Steve Nash because this is the first game where I'm like, bro, he did not coach good this game.
Yeah,
he did not coach bad. You in the crunch time when you need spacing, you don't run a lineup of Bembry, Bruce, and James Johnson at that 3, 4, and 5. You don't do that.
Well, I can tell you that part of where he jacked up is that clearly tonight Bembry and Clax were playing better than Brown and LA, right? They just were, and I felt like you should have seen more Bembry and you should have seen more Claxton this game. I really do because they were quicker today. They were a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Nash should have put injected Cam or Kessler into the game because, like I said, with just KD and Harden, you have nobody who else can really shoot the ball or an offensive threat.
Yeah.
So I feel like should he have inserted Cam or Kessler? Is that a hot take or is that a real take?
It's not a hot take. This is a perfect game to do so. Most of the Clippers are running young guys out there. Right. The whole game that had a quicker step up front, like most of the Nets starters. So you want to kind of get a guy that can match that speed. I'm pretty sure if you put Kess out there with his defense or Cam, probably get some form of a bucket. Like Harden, one of them could have came in when Patty went out.
Yeah,
Harden had 10 points in the fourth, and KD only had 4. So I don't think it's fair to really kind of go too hard at Harden. Yeah, there was
no. I said Harden went ghost because he did go ghost in the first half. He had in the first half he had 8 points. He was 0 for 6 from 3 and 8 points at the halftime. That's why
he didn't have a great first for sure.
Let me tell you why I'm blaming both, because number one, KD did not have any footprint in the fourth at all, and on top of that, when Patty went out, Harden kind of just held the ball for too much.
Yeah, at the shot clock, he was holding it in the shot clock, and then, like I said, we would have to scramble. And then JJ and guys who can't really shoot the ball that well are shooting shots for us in the fourth quarter when we need buckets.
Well, you can't hold the ball for like 15. You can't do that, especially in the crunch time when you need a quick bucket. Because mind you, like they were just waiting for Harden to hold the ball so they can trap him or just trap KD. You can't. You have to move the ball quickly.
Shout out to Jaden the GOAT, super chat. A lot of people saying Harden was holding the ball, but he was trying to get KD open, and KD was sitting by two defenders. They both.
That's what I'm saying. In the fourth quarter, that's what I saw. I saw like KD was getting doubled, and I saw like I said, Harden was doing his thing in the fourth for the beginning of the fourth, right? Then there was a minute where Patty went out. That's when things went bad, when Patty went out, because like I said, the Clippers coaching staff adjusted. They doubled KD. There was like, KD's not going to beat us. So Harden, you got to do whatever you got to do.
So I would kind of. So I get it. I kind of, this one, like as much as I've actually been impressed and kind of happy with Nash as of lately, I really, if you're like really watching basketball and you're not just, whether you win or lose, you decide whether that Nash has sucked that game. He's been doing good considering what has happened. However, today wasn't a good game for Nash, in my opinion. He's already come out and said right away after the game, somebody asked him a question. He said, "We got what we deserve." So I'm the feeling I get from that is that I think he knows he made some bad calls, and it's like,
the Clippers assistant coaches outcoach you.
I know.
Ty Lue wasn't even here today. Ty Lue wasn't even here today, bro.
And that's why I said, like, I really think he blew it as far as not putting Bembry in more, especially in those important times. He should have gone to Clax more this game, because Clax hit a fucking mid-range. Okay, let's just all take a pause. Let's just all take a pause for a minute and acknowledge that is the first time we've seen Claxton hit a open mid-range that I can remember.
A jump shot, period.
A jump shot mid-range in the NBA. So if he's doing that this game, I think this game was also a little too fast for LA, and I think it would have benefited more Clax. But the thing is, people have been talking about why didn't we see the rookies? And my only reasoning for that is, this is of course my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying it's facts or not, but I still think the fact that everybody had been out as long as they were, I do believe Nash is opting to go for more of the regulars, trying to get them back in the swing of things. And I do believe, didn't the rookies kind of come out behind everybody? Like Cam.
Like they weren't. I don't know if they were ramped. I mean,
no, I feel like you could have seen Cam maybe before. But yeah, I don't know.
Cam was the first one out. He could have. I think he could have played tonight.
And exactly. That's why I said Cam. But
that's what I'm saying. When Patty Mills
choosing
went
to
out,
believe maybe that's why.
When Patty Mills went out, we have no other shooters. Or not even you don't even have to be a shooter. Just another scoring option. You know what I'm saying? Because love JJ, love Bembry. Nash he went away from Claxton, like Saint said. He went away from Claxton. He started going with JJ at that 5. He went really, really small. Did that hurt the Nets?
Yeah,
possibly.
It did. It did. Because you know me as critical. I mean, and we all were critical because you guys all once were. I know you're on the Clax train, but back in you were. I mean, I cannot to this game. Claxton was getting to the basket. I saw him run to Harden to put the pick harder than I've ever seen him run, and also body up. So I noticed today with Claxton that Claxton was, in my opinion, he was on it. He hit at least one of his free throws. Wasn't expecting him to hit both. He was hitting mid-range. He was getting right to where he needed to, right by the basket to put the dunk in. So like he had it, and he was quick today. And I do think that just that's the thing is I don't.
You try to panic and put Claxton back in with like 3 minutes left, and I'm like, bro, what's the point now? It's like we need scoring. We need scoring.
Why? And I guess my thing is, okay, yeah, you had him in the beginning of the game, and then he disappeared for a couple quarters. Almost, it felt like. I thought the fourth quarter was Clax's, right? Like, it should have gone. You should have been gone to Claxton if you're not seeing what's working. Same thing with with Brown, right? Yeah. it didn't seem like it was working. It seems like Bembry was a lot more of a hustler tonight than Brown was. And I
Bruce
don't
Brown. We got to talk about Bruce Brown tonight too, because Bruce Brown, bro. But go ahead.
I gotta say, what was the indication from the Sixers game that indicated we needed to start Brown tonight? Oh, what has Bruce Brown shown at the moment? What has Bruce? Matter of fact, I'm gonna push back even further. What has Bruce shown all this season that he needs to start over Bembry?
I mean, Bembry. I think Bembry. I don't know. That is a very good point. Bembry did have 6.5 more minutes. Oh no, let me see. 22, 5.5 more minutes than Brown tonight. Yeah. But I think it was when he used Bembry, which I thought was the fatal, like not fatal, but I thought was one of the mistakes. They essentially had the same amount of rebounds. They each had 6. They each had 2 steals. Bruce Brown did have more personal fouls, so he was committing more fouls, wasn't efficient in that area, where Bembry had only 2, and he had 5 more points with 7 points over 2.
He missed a ton of little layups. Yeah. I was like,
they both missed because Bembry was 2 for 7.
Yeah, they missed a ton of easy layups, bro. I'm talking about like the layup is literally there. The ball is right there. That's why when I sent you that message that somebody tweeted me, somebody was like, "Oh, Bruce Brown is the Russell Westbrook of the Nets." I was like, chill, bro.
Here's the crazy part. With Bruce, this is not a new thing, him missing open bunnies like this. This is considered for Bembry a bad game. He doesn't really usually miss open layups like that.
He don't do like
Bruce
that.
Brown, it's consistent. He's not the best finisher. He can't finish at the rim unless it's a floater. Like, this has been a consistent thing since we've gotten him.
Yeah. If you're joining us right now, make sure you guys hit that like button. The Nets have lost to the Clippers 120 to 116. Again, some stats: the Clippers shot almost 40% from 3 this game, and the Nets shot 33%. Foul shots, we beat them in foul shots with 84% and 71% for the Clips. And then we go from turnovers. The turnovers at the half, because I looked at the turnovers at the half and I was like, "Oh, we're doing good." I think it was like 6-5 or 7 turnovers. And then now, when we end the game, I'm like 15. How much 15 come out of nowhere? But again, turnovers again hurt us too again.
2 quick shout outs, Mr. Governor, back-to-back quotes here. This is not a Nash issue. This is an execution issue in the fourth on both ends of the court. I will agree with that. I do think it's coupled with execution from the players.
Yeah, the offense looked scrambly. It was a scrambler.
And Nash not looking. And Age said it earlier. The fatal blow was losing Patty. That was huge. Yeah. Losing Patty. I was almost like, honestly, because I was shocked when Bruce Brown went in.
Were you shocked when Bruce Brown went in? I was like, Bruce. I was like, we played Patty with Bruce? I was like,
what? I was dealing with house crap, so I've been kind of running back and forth on the TV, and then I came back. I'm like, Patty, I didn't even realize Patty had gotten that many fouls. But then Ben Harris said this right afterward. Shout out to you. The Nets bench sucks. They need. Listen, I get what you're saying, but I'm not too worried about the scoring. Right? Like you're obviously missing Joe Harris. We did not see Cam Thomas. Those are 2 scorers there. You obviously have Kyrie coming back, at least at the away games at the moment. So I'm not too worried about it right this second. I mean, we only are 1 game out of first.
He said it's not a Nash issue, right? But listen, Patty went fouled out. It was
part of it.
You're going to put Bruce Brown in. We already have Bembry and JJ in. So it's like, where's our shooting going to come from? Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the third option to shoot?
Yeah,
right?
No, Nash playing for this one.
That's what I'm saying.
How's that? I think the fair thing to say is to opt away from putting the blame all on one thing, right? Like Nash definitely, like Nash said, we got what we deserved. Bad calling of when to play somebody and who to put in. You didn't recognize when somebody was maybe playing a little bit more, or at least his timing off of putting people in did not work tonight. And the players weren't executing. They were missing, like you said, they were missing open layups. We were missing free throws. Too many guys were fouling. If it wasn't so much as like a legit turnover as you're, taking it down towards the basket and you give it up, that's one thing. But we were fouling these dudes constantly. And I mean, Patty is, I don't think any even come close to fouling out at all this season. So I was very shocked to see that.
Yeah, I want to shout out. Let me shout out. Here we go. He said it's on Nash. Well, I don't want to say it's all on Nash, but I agree with this point. He said because he puts the players on the court, so your offense is limited to 2 players who continue to get doubles. Yes, that's what I was trying to lead to. Like when you put Bruce Brown in there, you already have Bembry and JJ in there. So it's like, who's gonna score? But like I said, that's why the assistant coaches looked at it and were like, okay, we're gonna double KD, put Harden on the island.
Yeah, bro.
Put Harden on the island, and then if Harden gets stopped or he can't, like he holds the shot clock up, he has to force a step back or force a tough shot. You know,
I'm seeing a mixed review in there, like what you said is facts, but I'm also seeing this mixed review where everybody's either saying in chat, "Oh no, it's all Nash's fault," but then
I don't want to blame it all on Nash.
But there's a few people that are like saying like, "Sorry, or this is not Nash's fault at all." Like,
yeah, it's like half and half. You know how that's Twitter is.
It's
your fault. So,
but here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's a mix, and I think people it's a middle of the road.
Here's my thing. People are so animate on blaming individuals instead of just saying the team as a whole kind of played bad.
Yeah.
Outside of what Bembry, or not even Claxton, and who else played good outside of Claxton? Realistically,
nobody. Well, Patty until he fouled out.
Yeah, Patty
was good.
And again,
that's it. Oh, LaMarcus had 10, but he was 5 for 13, 0 for 2 from 3. He wasn't himself.
He wasn't locked in on defense.
Yeah, he wasn't locked in on defense. So.
Blake did only 3 rebounds.
Oh, for
Blake barely.
He was only.
He had barely any minutes.
Yeah.
A positive tonight is we didn't see Javon Carter. That's a positive.
Yeah.
That's probably the only positive of the night. That's probably the only positive.
Should we have played Paul Millsap tonight or no?
You want me to get off the stream right now? Hell no. What?
Goodbye.
Play Paul Millsap.
But Blake got minutes. I would give Paul Millsap.
You saw how fast the Clippers played. You want to put Sim block Millsap out there?
I'm looking for some kind of answer, bro. I need something. I need something for tonight, bro.
Hell no.
He technically. I mean, but let's be honest too, though. There was only literally an 8-man rotation tonight. If you want to count Blake's 7 minutes, that's 9. But I mean, he pretty for the predominant amount of the game stayed with just 8 players, and you had Duke, Kessler, Millsap, Cam Thomas, Dayron. I don't know if Dayron was there, but you did have other people to go to, but you just didn't go to them for whatever reason. And that's why, I mean, people have to just, I don't think this is a panic game. And I know everybody's like, I think what's more annoying is that this was a game we should have won, right?
Yeah,
there's no excuse.
We were up 13 with 5 minutes
why,
left.
Yes.
In
there's
the fourth?
no, yeah.
Come on.
We were pretty much, even though it had its moments, for the most part, we were in control of the game. And this was a game we should not have lost. Now, it's fair to say at the end of the day, there's more than like if you want to play the blame game, it goes to everybody. You can't just sit here and chat or just in general and be like, nah, it's Harden's, because you see the people in chat that want to blame Harden.
Yeah,
somebody will try
to. It's not just one guy's fault. We all
got the
Nash messed up. KD was not good
enough.
KD was not good in the fourth. Harden had a bad first half. Good third quarter, and then fourth was shaky. KD's fourth was shaky.
I mean,
Nash was shaky. Around, everything was shaky, bro.
We can't just say it was one person. Yeah. We were committing way too many fouls. I didn't even really have too many. There was a couple ref calls that I was like, that's cheesy. But for the most part, I don't think they were bad tonight. I just think we were being sloppy, trying to defend.
This is what bothers me is like this Clippers team had. Well, I know Reggie Jackson was just a huge build for them, but like. They didn't have Marcus Morris. Of course, they didn't have Paul George. Didn't have Kawhi. And they didn't have their head coach. They didn't have their – and they still beat us, which is like,
bro, this is why I say this is a team loss because you can't allow – as a team, as a unit, you can't allow yourself to lose a game against that team. No.
Yeah, it's like –
you don't.
Because I said like what I know the Clippers, I got to give them credit because, like I said, they shot out of their – like I said, if they could shoot like this from 3, like I said, when everybody's back, they're going to be pretty good. Eric Bledsoe was shooting 3 tonight. 4 for 6 for Eric Bledsoe. Terrence Mann, 3 for 6. Look at this. Coffee, 3 for 5. Reggie Jackson, 3 for 9.
Yeah, and
Gabriel, even Wenyan Gabriel hit was 1 for 2.
The guy we let go. The guy we let go. On you can't make this up.
Everybody was shooting with 50. You can't make what the heck is going on, bro? How the Clippers shoot like this?
And this is like a little side tangent. Like, bro, player stands honestly piss me off the most because you see the whole team play bad. Both Harden and KD did not do good in the fourth.
Okay,
but they like to pick out the little things that like to just put one up over the other. Like, oh, Harden had 10 points, KD had 4 on the floor.
let me interrupt here for a minute. I found out a great little tool, and we'll see how well it plays in here. What up, Rage? I just found a great little tool that way we can get really in depth of so we can stop complaining about who disappeared.
This is advanced stats.
This is advanced stats by the quarter. This is first quarter. So if we want to get KD was definitely 9 points. He was scoring in the beginning. You had LaMarcus with 6, Patty with 6, James Harden had 5. So I necessarily wouldn't say he was ghost. He did have 3 assists.
Wait, what? I can't read it. It says 1 for 4. Was that 1 for 4 for James?
James Harden.
1 for 4. Okay.
Yeah, 1 for 4. He did get
5 points.
Yeah.
In second quarter.
So second quarter. I mean, Claxton also came in. Claxton had 4 points. He was doing his thing. Let's go to second quarter. I think is maybe the one that was frustrating. Maybe, I don't know. James Harden 1 for 6, 3 points. If you're gonna say there was an issue with James Harden, it definitely to me was more the second than anything out of the first quarter. If we're talking about first half,
he was 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from the second quarter and 0 for 2 in the first.
The same.
I'm not saying
no. I'm just bringing it up, and that's where
it's good to bring it up. But I'm gonna just say, did we win the game?
Oh no, but I'm trying to break it down because of people that are complaining about.
The real Royals are Harden stand, so he cares about Harden more than the next win.
This is where, and this is my point. I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
KD was better the first half.
Yeah.
James Harden was better the second half because the third quarter, James Harden came in.
As I said, I gave James Harden love.
And hit you with 16. So and then in the fourth,
James Harden turns into James Harden that third quarter.
I gave him love.
So I guess my whole point of bringing this up and talking about it is that it's not fair to say, if you're gonna try to place blame on somebody, again, it's all around, right? You could, if you want to use the term ghost. Yeah, Harden kind of ghosted in the first half, and then KD kind of ghosted in the second half. So if you want to use those words and place blame, and that's why I'm saying, let's stop the finger pointing and saying it's his fault. No, it's Nash's fault. It's all around, it's a bad team win, and people did not
But this is what Chubbs is saying.
That's what I'm trying to get across.
The player stands in the chat are making.
That's why I had to bring it up.
I'm blaming one person. I'm not blaming. My job is telling you what happened in the game.
Winning.
Yeah,
they don't care about the team winning, and I mean they get too in depth with oh my god, Harden 34 triple double. Oh my god, James Harden. Oh my god, what did you do in the fourth quarter? You have him standing. You have him standing at the top of the key doing nothing. I mean, I will say this is
bro, and I'm.
Let's not over talk each other, but just to give ourselves a laugh, Michael K. There should be no way Jane Johnson put up more shots than KD in the fourth.
That is true. I'll say
who is that?
But let me get this off
from the eye test. I saw KD every time KD would try to get the ball, it was 2 people on him. Like I said, the assistant coaches did a great. You got to give them credit. Yeah. When Patty went out, they did a great job of doubling KD, making sure we're not letting.
They literally there was a report on what happened. They literally when Patty fouled out, they said what did the Clippers yell out? The Nets have 2 shooters. The Nets only have 2 shooters. James Harden and Kevin Durant. James Harden shot 3 for 11 tonight from 3-pointer. So you really only have 1.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah. But let me just get this off, and then we'll just move on. It's we can debate who had a better quarter, who had a better half. At the end of the day, if we lose, who cares? There's nothing to hold weight about. Who cares if James Harden had a good first quarter? He lost.
I think when people come in here and come in hard at one player, it's because I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not pinning out any names, but when you have player stands that are now Brooklyn Nets fans, this is most of the time what you're going to get. You're going to get the player stands coming in and go, no, it was your fault.
They'll come in right away. Do not blame anything on Harden. Do not say anything about Harden.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
No, it's their fault. Not my guy.
We lose the game. Do not say anything about Harden, bro.
I don't care if you had 4 and stood at the half court line the whole game.
The whole chat, literally, bro.
Like I don't understand that mentality.
Some of y'all in the chat.
I don't understand that mentality at all.
Yeah.
Like
this is my new favorite name, Slime Bunny. Chubbs with the facts. That's my new favorite name, Slime Buddy.
Yeah. It's not even facts. It's just blatant truth.
Look who decided to show up.
You just can't blame individuals and just say, he's the reason or he's the reason. The whole team lost because, number one, we allowed a team missing half of its roster, on top of that missing its head coach, beat us. That is a team loss. That's not an individual loss. From the coach to KD to Harden to even the role players. You allowed yourself
of a team loss. Everyone played a part in something. You have James Harden. You have your role players not making shots. You have terrible lineups. I mean, like there's so many things you can put into one. You can't blame this on one person because ultimately it wasn't that.
But Ages feels a little.
Real Royal, okay. He said we was lying.
Ages a little frustrated.
So you say y'all was lying. We were lying on Harden until Saint exposed. Okay, so 8 points for Harden in the first half. That's good to you. That's great. That's great stats to you, right? 8 points, 0 for 5 from 3. That's great.
Superstar stats.
How are we lying, bro?
He said something that you said something about the fourth quarter, but Age is mad because he doesn't think KD's not getting enough hate right now.
But the one thing I will say, Katie said the one thing I talked about this with some people in the kickback chat and Discord. They were like, KD wasn't like.
Sorry, Rage, but it was Kyrie's fault tonight.
Nah, it was Kyrie's fault tonight.
Yeah. It was this, dude. This is what happened, bro. It's his fault, dude.
Someone made that their profile picture on Discord, but like I said,
that's beautiful.
Let me
you know what his name was? You want to know what his name was? KD Stan. His name is KD Stan.
Oh, okay. AJ wants.
Let me just move on. We'll move on from because I don't want to cut up with this player stuff because I care about the Nets more importantly than
let's stop trying my dog like that for real. Stop playing on him.
I care about the Nets more than I care about player.
And to end it, and that's why I pulled up the first, second, third, and fourth quarter. It is easily to say, and I'm not even going to use the term ghost, but I'm going to say Harden was not that great in the first two quarters. Harden played a better game in the third and fourth quarters, and KD played a better game in the first two quarters. And in the third and fourth, he did not have that great game. So all you Harden stands, KD stands, really sensitive, really emotional, sensitive.
They're emotional, bro. Because they're ignoring the facts I told. I'm literally telling you how the game happened. I said I gave Hull up. I was like, Harden went ghost in the first half, but third quarter he was amazing. 16.
Harden dropped 34. Yeah. What are you talking about?
So it's like they get emotional.
His first half stats. His second half stats. Who cares? We lost.
Like, look at the third quarter. He dropped 20 points.
Hey,
did he really? I don't. What was the score though?
It's just like I want to move on with this player stats, man, because he's
so okay. But that's why I brought that up. That's why I brought it up to end it. And you could easily say one player played better in the beginning, one player played better in the second half, and that's just
they both could have done more.
And they at the end of the day, they actually both had some semi decent stat lines. Can't complain about that. Harden did have a triple double. You know, KD's stats weren't that great. You know, were good too. I'm not saying he didn't have triple double status, but he was still good, right? Like, it just didn't translate because of, I think, bad timing of when to put the right players in. He went away from the players that I felt were better in the game, Claxton, Bembry, and stuck with LA and Brown when it should have been the other way around. And also losing Patty early hurt. It just. And like you said, the big factor here, as much as we all know we should have beat the Clippers played a better game plan and were hitting their shots, and they played good defense. They kept doubling KD. Like, shout out to the Clippers. Hats off to you, dude. You guys pulled it. They played a better game than we did tonight.
They shot amazing from three.
And that's the facts. I mean, even though
I've been saying for a lot of years that Eric Bledsoe, honestly.
I was shocked.
If you don't agree with me, like you just don't know basketball. Eric Bledsoe was better than Steph, and that's just a fact.
I needed this from Julian tonight. I needed this from Julian.
We can move on
from Julian tonight. I needed this tonight, bro.
So you saying Eric Bledsoe was Baby Bron out there tonight? Because that was his nickname.
Was he not?
He was wild tonight, bro. I was shocked.
He was Baby Curry.
Reggie was killing.
I never thought Eric Bledsoe. Oh my gosh, what is? Oh, 9 for 11 from 3-point range.
Or
whatever.
Eric Bledsoe. You can't make this stuff up, bro. Like I read the 3-point stats.
This would only happen against the Nets. And the one thing I'm gonna mention is this: like we beat this team with just James Harden and Patty Mills, and then we get everyone back together, and then we lose. And I want to also bring this up. These jerseys, you need to take off the jerseys for a little bit, bro. Take off the jerseys for a little bit, bro.
No, I mean, but listen, dude, the other thing people are forgetting is majority of these guys just got back a game or two from being off from anywhere to 10 to 12 days. So let's have a little, take a little sip of whatever you're drinking or smoking, relax a little bit. It's not the end of the world. This is a game that we should have won, but we didn't. We got outplayed. And my ultimate question is, so maybe we can center more on
Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yo, Age, stop feeding into the players fans in the chat, bro.
But this is my
it's about the Nets, bro.
And to end all that is what is it people's necessity to blame just one singular thing on a team basketball game, right? Like there's not enough to point here to just say it's all Nash, it's all Harden, it's all Brown. It's like, why can't people understand a totality of an equation?
This was really the definition of a team loss. Like you have so many, and to bring up Eric Bledsoe stats, I mean, this guy 8 for 12 from field and 4 for 6 from 3. Like you're not seeing this again from Eric Bledsoe.
They're NBA players, bro. So on any given night, they can be NBA players. They could beat us, And just because just because you say nobody said anybody had a bad game, But it's just bro, just because we say that you could have done better in this area or you off in this area, that doesn't invalidate the whole performance. And some of y'all be really emotional and stuff like that. And it's chill out, bro.
The season's over, and people, it is crazy because people take it to heart, and what they'll start doing. Oh my God! This is why you don't have a father. Oh my God!
This is why our fan base is compromised, bro. It's because it's the players stand, man.
We got cooked by a person named Coffee. The season might as well be over. We got cooked by a person named Coffee.
Who is Coffee,
bro? Who is Xavier Moon, bro? He's averaging 1 point and 2 rebounds per game. Who is Xavier Moon?
Bro. They don't
James
even.
Ennis 10 points, and we just let him go. Wendy and Gabriel 7 points, and they just let him go too.
They don't even spell Coffee right. It's Coofey on his name. What the hell?
Yeah.
Nah.
Shout out Mo. He said we lost back-to-back to assistant coaches. Yeah, man.
Tough.
Assistant coaches. Even Ty Lue wasn't there. Ty Lue wasn't a coach.
Y'all want to know something crazy?
Wait,
Clippers did the Clippers come? Were the Clippers coming back off? Did they play yesterday?
They were coming.
That don't even matter.
Yeah, they were on a back-to-back.
I'm still.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
You guys don't remember who Coffee Black was?
Look at 3 stats.
If you know about this movie, you know who Coffee Black is.
Look at
what's
stats,
crazy?
Man.
There's another person on the Clippers named Moon. So we got beat. We just got cooked by semi-professional.
Honestly,
got cooked by semi-professional.
Andre is top 5, but y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all know nothing about that.
Hey, we're gonna have, just so you know, we are gonna to make some light of this shit. We're actually gonna stream watch Semi-Pro on our Discord chat. So join up because we're gonna watch some Jackie Moon and oh hell yeah! I got the DVD. I downloaded it.
That sounds fire.
So I can play
Isaac, drop the Discord. Isaac,
whoever had that idea up here, good idea.
I'm either gonna do it tonight or tomorrow or something. I got
that was your idea, Sam?
Yes, because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
W idea.
It's Semi-Pro.
Bro say he got it on DVD. I didn't even know what I'm supposed to do.
No, because what you do. I know, right? What you can do is there's a program where you can take DVDs and you can make them just a computer program file and just play them. So it'll be easy to play on my computer, and it's funny.
I haven't even held a DVD in so long.
Oh God,
bro, remember when DVD players were so expensive?
Bro, I haven't seen DVDs in years, bro.
Bro, DVD players were so expensive.
That's kind of scary.
I held one when I was 4.
I haven't seen a DVD in years.
Bro, they're so expensive. People were buying PlayStation 2s because it was a DVD player and it was cheaper.
I remember that.
That's how crazy DVD.
Tomorrow we're gonna Discord watch party Semi-Pro.
Jesus.
Oh, I just want to shout out.
We should make that a thing.
I want to shout out Josiah. Happy birthday, Joe.
Yeah,
shout out to Josiah.
Shout out to the Nets.
How old is he?
Bro. That's a good question. I don't know.
Probably like
you're a fake fan
right now.
Big fan.
What's crazy is you still have people out there calling our owner cheap too. That shit's hilarious.
Uh-oh.
Don't disrespect Josiah in the chat. Don't Sean Mark slander or Josiah slander in the chat.
So I mean, and the other thing we got to talk about is that it sucks too, is because I think let's talk about these two players. Outside of Patty getting fouled out, he was having a decent game.
He was having a great game.
Like
17,
he was like, because after his last game, he couldn't buy a bucket, and tonight, like Patty was starting to hit him, and it just unfortunately fouled out. Like so, I mean, it's good to see at least Patty has a bad game, bounces back. That's a good thing, and I do think I know you guys will like this, but we do have to talk about Claxton's evolution, dude. Like he is. I don't think, even though it was a loss and we have all the reasons to blame this person, that person, whatever. I mean, we do got to talk about like Claxton's evolution. It is getting to the point, at least with me a little bit, that you can tell he has been putting in work.
AJ, why are you looking at the camera?
Nah, I was looking at the chat.
Nah, he heard Say talking about Claxton. AJ was obvious. Has it been 10 games yet? Has it been 10 games yet?
I have said I will, like, I keep recognizing that he's doing better. I'm not going to ignore that he's not playing better because he is.
No, I did look. I was like,
no, he did look once he heard credit.
I did the Claxton.
He said.
You know, y'all know what it looks like when a dog hears something and he'll like break his neck and look the other way.
That's how I looked at Say when he said.
He said he was looking at the chat, man. Whatever. Bro, don't make me, dude. I'll do this.
Yo,
wow.
Don't make me do
I'm out, bro. I'm out.
Don't make me
bro.
do
You
this.
just say, bro. Say you can't just do it, bro. You just jump scared us, bro. How could you do that?
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Don't make me do that.
You just jump scared, bro.
No, but I mean, seriously, Clax, like. The dude is playing with a whole lot more of energy than he was. You can tell he's taking to heart exactly because, listen, Jay said it a long time ago. They pretty much said, get your ass attached to the hip of Harden is basically what they said. And you've seen it. He's working with somebody in there enough to because he's getting better at setting picks and he's doing better at getting open and hitting open lanes to the basket, which he wasn't doing before. And clearly they're working with him in the paint because wasn't our biggest complaint about him was dude had no hands in the paint. Every time he got the ball and if he was by himself, he would like panic. He would get blocked. He would get it stripped. And that hasn't been happening. So something's going on there, whether it's the coaching staff, whatever they're doing with him is working. And I mean, that's a good thing for the team. You have to acknowledge it.
I'm gonna read some comments. Somebody said, "Yo, carries." Chris K said, "Claxton over Harden." That's crazy. I can't even say that, bro. I'm not gonna. JJ turned down 4. What did he say? JJ turned down 4 to 6 wide open threes. He's not tall to be a lot better good at. Yeah, in that fourth quarter, like I said,
he did.
And this goes back to Nash. Shout out, here we go, talking about Nash's lineups. We can't. Having JJ take majority of our threes in the fourth is not how we're gonna win this game.
How does he take more shots than Kevin Durant?
That's what I'm saying.
But the crazy thing is to think about it like this is like someone mentioned like why Kate we weren't bringing enough we were like bringing enough attention on how like KD was doing in the fourth quarter. You literally pass him the ball and he's double teamed. He's not gonna do. He can't do anything. And you have Tim Johnson on the court. What do you want this man to do?
Okay. And stop this, dude. AJ, Harden is not our Westbrook. Get the hell out of here with that.
I gotta be honest. That's a troll. Troll.
OJ Mayo.
Yeah. I think that's OJ Mayo. The last time we got into it with him, he was saying some weird.
OJ Mayo.
That's a troll. After seeing the Lakers past games, to say he's our Westbrook, no.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. You cannot be. You cannot be. I mean, Harden has had his ups and downs this year, but clearly Harden's been playing a lot better.
Harden's been great.
He hasn't had his Westbrook down.
I like this one better. Brown is our Westbrook.
I'll agree with that.
Did y'all talk about Bruce Brown?
Ever since the LA trip, Harden's been like really good.
Did y'all talk about Bruce Brown?
Yes,
we did. We talked about Bruce.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring in my 2 cents. Pack it up. Get him out of here.
I agree.
Even if it doesn't happen this year, I will say in the offseason, I'm okay with Javon Carter being gone, Paul Millsap being gone, Bruce Brown being gone. I'm okay with what's his name? The other the other dude, Blake Griffin. I'm okay with him being gone.
Fat boot. What are you here for, buddy?
I'm just saying. Listen, they've all brought, like, with the exception of Javon Carter and Paul Millsap, whatever. At least Brown. I will give Brown and Blake. I won't go hate on them because they did do some things for us last year. Like, you can never ignore, like, they did step up at key times, but this year it's just not working. And knowing what we have in Kessler and Bembry, it's like, yeah, it's time to move on and get some other guys.
I feel like Cam really should have got in this game, bro. Because like when I see Bruce Brown,
our young guys,
I'd rather have Kessler Edwards at some point. Like at least this man can shoot, and then you have Cam Thomas. Like Cam Thomas takes a little while to get going, but he's shown us that he can hit the open three.
I know they're rookies, but they're like it's just obvious from the eye test. Like they're more of an offensive threat.
I understand the rookies, but I feel like sometimes you bring up the rookies, but sometimes you got to realize these are NBA players. This is what they're meant to do. I understand they're young, and I understand they don't have much experience, but like,
they can make shots.
They can make shots. They're NBA players. They get paid millions of dollars. It's their job. They should be able to make open 3-pointers.
Cam may be a rookie, but you put that man on Moon, he's gonna find it on Mars. He'll find a way to get a bucket. Like he's that type of player. Like he's gonna find a way to get buckets. That's how Cam is. So it's like I feel like when Patty fouled out, I was like, Bruce.
And then we transition into 3 non-scores. What do you want? Yeah, you want Harden to drive? Sure.
Kevin Durant.
People are gonna drop it. You want to give the ball to KD? What? Oh, he's triple teamed.
Kevin Durant came out and said, "We came in with an effed up attitude to start." Echoes that the Nets deserve to lose.
What does he mean by that?
That's always why I kind of was going at in the sense of it was a team loss, right? Like if you're hearing the coach saying it and you're hearing KD come out and say, "Yeah, we came in with a fucked up attitude," that just tells you all around they know it's all around a team loss. It wasn't like a one-sided affair. They knew as a team they were not locked in from coaching to players. So there's your proof from the words of the coach and Kevin Durant.
Shout out, here we go. He said, "I keep telling y'all Cam Kessler and Daron need to be playing. Blake Millsap, old. LA old. Carter ass are not going to cut it. Kyrie will fix those shot issues, but the young guns got to play." Yeah, man. I mean, like I said,
ass in parentheses.
I don't know. He said, the parentheses around is bad funny. Like I said, playoffs is a different story, but for right now, this game, I would love some Cam and Kessler, bro.
And bro, we're not even we're already like a quarter in. This is the Clippers. Like I understand, like you're gonna want that 1 seed or that 2 seed or whatever you're going for, but I mean, like you're not even halfway done yet, and Clippers have a bunch of guys out, and we have a bunch of guys out. Play the rookies. Yeah. They have a better chance at winning you the game than like you. If the rookies are out there, Kevin Durant scores more, Harden scores more. I guarantee you. If the rookies are out, Harden and KD scored more points.
Ooh, shout out Brian V with the super chat coming in.
Thank you for the super chat, Brian V. Thank you. He said, "Do you guys think we can get a late first rounder for Bruce? I would love to move on from Carter, Millsap, Blake, and Johnson. Those guys can't shoot. Would rather get better 3-and-D guys in the buyout season." Well, Millsap is on a 1 year. Blake's on a 1 year. Is JJ on a 1 year? Pretty sure JJ's out of here. All these guys are on 1 year except for Javon Carter. Now Bruce his deal is ended.
Isn't Patty on a 2 year?
Patty's on a 2 year.
He's on player option. I think it's a player option.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to think that like some of these like it's just crazy to think like how much like Patty's like getting paid. Like he's not really getting paid anything. And I mean like these guys. I mean Carter, Millsap, Blake, and Blake. These guys aren't even worth $500,000.
I don't think we're going to get a first rounder for Bruce. The only thing I think the major trade piece, if Sean Marks is going to trade, would be Carter because, first of all, Bruce has a no trade clause. Second, Bruce is going to be out of here next. I think if we don't re-sign him, he's going to be gone next season if we don't bring him back. So I feel like Carter is the main guy we should look for.
And it's crazy to think like how much Bruce is getting paid. Some type of like you're like, I mean, Bembry obviously wasn't like spectacular, but like. Bruce is really getting paid like $4 million more than him.
I just don't. I mean, I'm seeing too in the chat.
The nation is turning on Bruce, bro. They're turning on Bruce.
Well, listen, I'm not going to go to hate with Bruce, but it's just he's not as effective as this year as he was last year for us. And I think that's because we do have some redundant type players in our lineup this year. So at some points it's not going to work. I think a guy like Bruce has to be playing all the time to really consistently be effective. And it's just not going to happen anymore. As much as I appreciate Blake's thing, I'm after this season, again, I don't think is going to have the same effect that he had last year. He definitely stepped up big for us. And I just, going into next year, I think you got to get younger. That's the other thing too, that if there's anything you want to take away from having the COVID thing and letting these rookies play, is you saw so much more energy in this team with some of the vets, with the young guys. And it's like, I do think because of the progression of some of these young guys, that they'll definitely be getting a lot more time next year. And I think you got to kind of continue to go that route. Like you have to try to get a little bit more youth and energy injected into this lineup. If not this year, next year for sure. Right? Like if you're not going to give these rookies the full, give them more time this thing, it's got to happen next year. Because I don't want to keep signing Blake and Paul Millsap.
It's tough because since we're cap strapped, it's like, it's hard for us to get young guys. It's hard to get young, good guys. That's why we gotta get these. That's why we have all these 1 year veterans, because our cap is so crazy.
We have to we have to get younger. We have to, and thank God, Sean Marks drafted 5 young guys. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, I think I said it on the stream before. We don't need old arthritis knees. We need young knees out there.
Yes,
I've said it before. I wasn't even joking. I'm not even joking. Like, let's stop playing these old guys. They're not.
But do you want to keep signing?
No.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, do you want to keep signing Paul Millsaps and Blake Griffins? Right?
Blake Griffin, James Johnson. It's hard to hate on James Johnson, but it's also like he gives you no offense, and he's too small. He's really too
But he is a guy, though, that you keep, though. James Johnson, the reason why I say you keep James Johnson is because he is, I think he is a good locker room guy, but he is one of those guys that you can put in there in different situations. He has better handles than Paul Millsap and Blake, right? Like, he is a very hustle type guy. Like in the beginning of the season, I felt like he was just running up and down the court, just getting paid to run. But he definitely, I think tonight it more exposes him, because what happened? We only had KD and Harden in the game. So when somebody like James Johnson, who would, let's be honest, if we had Patty in there, if Joe Harris was back, and you had other scorers or Cam Thomas, JJ wouldn't be getting the ball wide open from the 3 as many times as he did tonight. That's the most he's probably gotten that ball at the 3 in a while.
So and that's why he wasn't taking. That's why he. That's why he had to take shots.
That's why I also think. But that's why I also think people need to chill a little bit tonight and realize how much we did not have scoring in the game tonight. AJ is going to be dipping out, so we might be able to bring somebody else up or something, but. But that's the other thing that you got to understand about tonight's game is that we literally, exactly. Proud Saf. Thank you. JJ was our 3rd scoring option tonight. Once Patty was out, bro, it was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then if you're a halfway decent coach, in your mind, you're looking at our lineup out there going, well, to be honest, the only real 2 people that are going to score are KD and Harden. So double KD, and then we'll see. We'll take our chances. And guess what? It worked, and they consistently hit their shots. Our defense that has been strong for us all season just didn't show up tonight for whatever reason. Somebody had said it earlier. I forgot your name. I saw your chat where it was like our something, 4th in the league or 5th in the league defense didn't come through tonight, and they didn't play that great tonight. So, it is what it is. I think people can, shouldn't lose their minds over this, because watch, next game we'll come back and we'll kill it, and then everything we go, we're the greatest, and there won't be all this complaining. But
the said next game is very tough. We got the Grizzlies. That's gonna be a tough one. That is good.
Hopefully we do see some other. Hopefully we do see some other people. Whatchamacallit? Hopefully we get to see some of the young guys. it just
we definitely need him for the Grizzlies. If we learned from this game, we need him. We need one of them.
So I mean, listen, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna like. I think I was more like, I don't want to say embarrassed. Yeah, embarrassed. I think that's the best word. Like, I was just like,
it's embarrassing,
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
it's embarrassing. But I'm not even gonna be like, I'm not even gonna get like overly emotional with like the games that we're losing, because like we'll get the games back, and I mean you'll be able to. There'll be enough time, and you'll have enough time to get all these guys back. And I feel like I keep mentioning it, but you got to remember. I mean, what if you have Joe Harris? What do you have Kyrie Irving? I mean, like.
But some of these people. I'm sorry, go on, because I was just gonna say people are already claiming that we're gonna OJ Mayo with his horrible takes is gonna drop 50 on.
I'm gonna be honest.
They really don't have Kawhi or Paul.
I'm gonna be honest. The Grizzlies have had our number for the past seasons. I'm gonna be honest. They have had our number consistently
this season. But how many times did we take an L to them this year?
Even back to 2019, even 28, even the start. Ja took the ball from Kyrie. Jay Crowder hit that crazy ass shot. The Grizzlies have had our number like ever since then. Like, we could not beat them. Like, LeVert dropped 44 and we still couldn't beat them. Like, this is gonna be a challenge.
I don't think anybody's sugarcoating it, Claude, because I pretty much place the blame all around. I know people wanted to play the blame game for one particular player or coach, but when you literally break the game down, when you only have 2 scorers in at the end and your third scorer is out, and you've got, as Stephen O said earlier, playing 2 guards that can't shoot plus James Johnson is suicidal, right? So that's on Nash, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you have both of your stars like playing better, one playing better in the first half and then the other playing in the second half, and we're really on the same page. Yes, KD scored, but KD the last 2 games just hasn't looked like as crisp as we're used to seeing, right? And they've just
right.
When you have less scorers than we have at the moment, unfortunately, if both those 2 guys are having off quarters or just not hitting at the same time or not on the same page, it's going to be a very difficult game. And just tonight, and that's it. Like, facts from AJ. Yeah, Real Royal. I know, outside of like your love for Harden, yeah, all he cares about is Harden he could care less if the Nets win. Just would rather like as long as Harden has like a triple. He's like a Westbrook. Like Real Royal has Westbrook's mindset. Like, we lost the game, but did you see my triple double? Like, that's Real Royal's mindset. Like, that Real Royal is Westbrook.
He talking about you misunderstand me. No, we don't. Real stop.
Real Royal.
Real Royal.
We've seen you come in when Harden had a bad game. Like, what I miss.
And we've also seen you not come in when he had a bad game as well.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Flying Batman, I think you're in the wrong stream saying about the rain.
Flying
the
Batman,
Saints,
bro. Like, what?
I definitely think you're watching the wrong stream. We definitely are not talking football here. And, so have fun with that.
You spitting facts, but wrong stream.
I just wonder. I mean, I hope one of these reporters did ask Nash tonight, like, why didn't we see Cam Thomas? Why didn't we see any of the young guys? Now, I can maybe understand not playing Dayron. I could understand maybe DDJ, but why didn't you play Cam, and maybe why didn't you play Kessler, right? Like, those to me are the more 2 that I'm like, why didn't you at least give one of those guys some run tonight?
Stank.
What's up?
I'm gonna let you finish. I just have to.
What did you just about to say? You just jack and then you stopped.
No. I said I had to say some. Listen. I just had some bow tie pasta, like with some artichoke in it, and I baked.
You're gonna do that shit tonight.
And then I baked some bread, and there was cheese in the bread. And after I baked it, I opened that shit, and that shit just oozed the fuck out. That shit was so fucking good. I just wanted y'all to know that.
It's him talking sweet to his girl voice, but he's doing it to his food.
That shit was so fucking good, bro. I played it up all night. I poured the sauce. Yeah, it's artichoke in the pasta.
But and just artichoke, like
no, it's bow tie. It's pasta, bow tie pasta, right? But you put artichoke.
I know the bow tie
sauce. Yeah, and And then when I played it,
yeah, he's a bougie.
Yeah, let's just put some capers in there.
And I dipped the bread in the sauce when I was done.
Was it garlic bread?
It was so next level. No, it was like garlic bread. It was like a garlic bread stick with cheese in the middle.
I saw it was cheesy garlic.
That shit was so fucking good. Oh my god.
Bad. Okay.
Fuck. That shit was so good. That shit was fucking crazy.
AJ said he's driving to Barclays in the rain to slap everybody in the locker room.
Yeah, it's pouring. It's pouring in Brooklyn right now.
Dude, I just in Cali here, man. It just spent the last week and a half freaking raining the whole time here. Now it's your turn. Yep, and Wally.
What was he saying? My fault. I just had to. I
was just saying it. It would be nice to see if one of the reporters did ask Nash, like, why didn't we see any of the young guys? Yeah. I gave you my take earlier, just thinking they are the ones that were last to kind of come out of protocol, and maybe they're just not comfortable with them going in after sitting out for 10 days. Who knows? But that's just that's just where my thought is. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this was a game we should have won, and more than one reason that we didn't. And I don't want to get into particular blame game because I don't think it's like one particular thing that you could put your finger on tonight. And you've echoed it from the coach, you've echoed it from the players. They had a shitty attitude tonight, and they got what they deserved, which means, as a whole, players and coaching staff were not on the same page, and they got embarrassed. This is not like a lose your fucking mind loss, right? Panic loss. No, this is not that. This is an embarrassing loss.
Yeah.
Granted, people were off for 10 days. Granted, there was some other whatever. This was an embarrassing loss. This is not, oh my God, fire everybody, pack everybody up.
Yeah, we're out the second round.
We're not getting to the playoffs.
No, this is not that.
Embarrassing loss.
We're going to be 19
loss. And if you're taking it that way, like, you an emotional dude or woman. I don't know.
Honestly, bro, even though we lost in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm really happy the way Harden's been playing, and it makes me feel really like it makes me feel like comfortable, and it makes me feel better than what it was like the last couple times not the last 4 games he played, but before that little 10-day break. So even though like there's still some positive things about the last 2 games, even though we lost this game and all that, like I'm really glad Harden has had really like 4 superstar top 5, top 3 level games in a row. And
so
I think that was
so what I take from what you're saying is you're president of Harden Nation now. You coming for real spot?
Oh well, I can't have 2 president jobs. I'm already president.
Your man's not playing at all right now. Yeah, so you can technically.
But I'm just saying,
like you coming for your spot, bro. You better.
We could you could like I think the good out. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but in the grand scheme of things, like I'm happy that he's like playing at the superstar level, and it makes me like excited for what's we'll be okay. It's a loss. It is what it is.
Yeah, OJ Mayo, you becoming toxic in our chat, man. It's time for you to go. If you that.
What do you say?
He's just being a jackass. But AJ said, laughing my Julian voice in my car when he started talking about food sounded crazy. It had the volume mad high.
That shit was good as fuck.
Imagine if you were AJ in the car and all of a sudden some dude's like, yo, I had this sweet ass pop.
People don't be understanding, like,
and I poured this sauce on that shit. Oh man, and then it was.
I'm telling you, I know. Listen, I broke the breadstick and the cheese just fell out. It was just on point. But yeah,
I could just imagine.
Real Royal, I'm not on your side. You tripping? Okay, I'm just supporting somebody on my team. Don't clap for me because
Real Royal, you got
when your man had a bad game, you was gone. I was here.
Okay, and I'm going to entertain. Go Nets. Explain to me why we shouldn't give Harden any praise especially over the last 3
Why
years.
would I not be happy about him being consistent and playing at a superstar level consistently? That's been a problem of ours.
People are saying you got to do a podcast.
No, you got to do an ASMR.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, huh? We should get him up on that, huh?
Bro, like, we'll get him those ASMR mics.
Nets Kingdom ASMR.
Like, you my favorite too, Steven.
What was it? What was in that pasta, bro?
What are you talking about?
Bro, you just blew a kiss.
I did not blow no kiss. Y'all,
y'all
intoxicated.
The chat can back me. I know y'all heard blew a kiss, bro.
I heard it too.
I did not blow no damn kiss. That was Chubbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it type of stuff, bro. Like, what is he talking about?
Michael K, you're right.
So that was you,
over Brown. Are you saying Javon Carter over Brown? Is this the new debate? What?
I still can't believe that Javon Carter is really our TLC, bro. That's actually insane.
Javon Carter over Brown. Chat. You gotta let me. Like, are you got? I gotta see. Like, I can't put up a poll here, but like, Javon Carter over Brown. I need to see some.
That's a take.
Some BBs in there or JC to know what's going on here, because that's a little much, bro. Like. Oh, see, yeah, AJ heard. He goes exactly same. Mad awkward.
AJ,
but yeah, Michael K. Really hot take. But I'd rather Javon Carr be out there for the last 4 minutes instead of Bruce because he had confidence to take. He had confidence to take the three, but to miss it and bounce it off the back of the backboard. Yeah, you're right there. He definitely has the confidence to take a shot he can't make. But yeah, I do agree with you. He has more confidence, but his confidence doesn't translate to actually consistently hitting those open shots.
That's just a down bad take, honestly.
So what you're saying is he's trash?
Yeah.
You wild.
I'm not wild.
Exactly, Mo.
Why you say yeah like that?
Javon out there trying to act like he's AI,
and then he's got his mismatching shoes on. Like, who are you, bro?
Mismatching shoe.
He
really is.
Okay, but to be fair, go Nets. Bruce Brown is not playing high level. Javon Carter's not playing high level, right? Like,
Harden is. So I'm confused.
Harden is a Westbrook with a shot. That is a sentence.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh, he was saying Harden. Okay, I thought he was talking. Oh, get out of here.
It's still,
Harden
is
a Westbrook with a shot. You really read back that sentence and tell yourself if you just made sense with it.
I don't think any superstar should ever be compared to Russell Westbrook, bro. Like, you are talking.
Sorry,
bro. Harden is a legitimately bro. I don't even know why you would compare it to that man, bro. When I tell you he consistently, I be watching the Lakers sometimes, bro.
Oh yeah, I watch games. I see how Russell.
It's fascinating, bro. I can't even put it into words, bro.
Russell Westbrook is entertaining for all the wrong reasons at the moment.
For all the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons at the moment.
James Harden is a better.
The other thing I will say too, though, is at least James Harden, if he has a good or bad game, is not ducking the reporters, and he will come out and tell you, hey, I didn't have it tonight, right? Every time you ask Westbrook about a loss in a game, dude deflects, never admits he does wrong, thinks he's like, oh, I had a triple-double, so
he'll say I need to do that more.
I'm doing everything.
Bro, yeah. Westbrook
exactly.
Westbrook be smiling like embarrassing losses. Like, Harden doesn't do that, bro.
Well, that's exactly to be fair, Michael K. Harden has blown some layups. I'm not talking about dunks, but Westbrook does it nightly, all the time, consistently at the worst times, right? And turns it like, I will say this: they both are very shitty with their turnovers. That's the only area in Harden that I will. Yes, I just. Is their turnovers. That's the only part of Harden's game that frustrates me with him, is just the sloppy, as good as a passer. See, and that's the thing that drives me nuts. As good as a passer as James Harden is and setting people up, the lazy turnovers he has when controlling the ball sometimes and like passing it to players just drives me up a wall. That's the only issue there that drives me nuts.
Nah, bro. Harden is so much, bro. His IQ is better. He's even though like that hoodie. Oh yeah. Oh, it is.
Check this out. Julian, you weren't here. My 9-year-old son found this hoodie just chilling in a window, bro. Like,
that looked like I made it
100 yards away, and they only had 2 left. They only had 2 left, bro, and they had one in my size, extra large, and one in my son's size, and there were the only 2 in a store in California. right? Like so.
Damn, that's crazy in Cali.
Yeah, but
too,
thank you. Yes, I love this hoodie.
You know how lucky you have to get? That's actually insane.
In California, bro, right? Like this is something I would find in back east somewhere, not in California, in some random ass store in some beach town. But yeah, let's get off the Harden crap. I mean, if you got any, we're gonna move on to this segment because we're not gonna go super long. We're about an hour. But if you got any questions, just type @Saint. We'll do our best to try to answer them, talk about it. But we are facing the Grizzlies. I've already seen a handful of people in there think we're going to get blown out by the Grizzlies.
I wouldn't say blown out. But
it'll be. I think it's going to be a closer game than we want it to be.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Stephen O. Would Carter be playable if he planted in the corner and only shoot open threes at least? Listen, I would not. And this is what I initially when Carter came here. That's exactly how I viewed him, right? You notice how nobody complains about his defense, right? Because he defensively is a good guard. However, it's just the shooting just kills it for him. And there's so many times he's been open in the corner to hit that three, and very rarely does he hit it. And then when he does shoot it, it like is an ugliest shot I've seen in a long time, right? Good stroke, horrible shot, like going like it banks off the back of the backboard, it's off the side, like it just I agree with that's what I envisioned Carter, and he has not come anywhere close to that for me. And it was kind of bummed because I was actually thinking Carter was going to be decent for us when we first got him. Like, hey, I'm not expecting him to come in getting any massive minutes, but as far as like a third string point guard that you got to bring in a random moment, like the guy will do, but he just hasn't been that guy. So I'm not even confident in leaving him in a corner to hit those threes. Exactly midnight. Javon Brick Carter. He definitely
and he literally and the thing is he won't just stand in the corner. He'll dribble up and then just take a fadeaway mid range with 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah. So that me
about some bulldog mentality.
He
look like a bulldog.
He is unplayable.
Shout out to Age, some positives. Clax looks a lot better. I tried to talk about Clax, but nobody wanted to talk about him. Harden is back in form. Harden definitely is back to where we want him to be. He's not going to have perfect games every night. People need to get over that shit. KD's not going to have perfect games every day. People need to get over that shit. Kyrie, hopefully, yes, we'll be back soon. It's still up in the air. Some people are saying January 5th. Some say January 12th. I've heard Little Birdie say something to the fact that he might play the Bucks game that's coming up. I don't know about that. I'm hoping to get somebody on a little later. And then Joe Harris, exactly. Let me move on to something else here.
It's gonna be good, but like, you just wonder, like, you hope everything like just turns into like I don't know.
I don't know.
You're able to mesh because like you have all these guys and it's just not looking too well. Like you can't lose games like this with everyone, But it's not something I'm really going to.
And I do agree with Stephen O. Carter is being used the wrong as a ball handler, creating jumpers off dribbles. They need to turn that man into more of an open guy. He shouldn't be going down just trying to pop up. I don't like it. But there was let's see. I don't even want to get into trade deadline moves yet. Where was the other? There was another one that I thought was a good. Jay, we already talked about who is to blame. I put the blame on everyone. I'm not just putting it on one person. Go listen to some after game interviews from the actual players in the game, and you'll probably get the sense that. And listen to what they say. Go listen to what KD has to say, what Hart, and they will tell you what they did and didn't do, right? It wasn't just a one-sided. Very rarely you're going to hear a coach or a player come out and put the blame on somebody else. They're going to all take blame for it. There was a good question, and I thought it was a good segue for us. Yeah, hit that like button. AJ's driving, said hit that like button.
Carter should be used more as like PJ Tucker. I actually I'm not opposed to like that.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
We're dealing with
Nash here, so let's not think that's gonna happen.
Okay, Adir, why this coaches can't figure out how to make KD and Harden being deadly force at the same time on the court? I think part of the issue with that, bro, is that we've been down our scorers, right? And you've got to spread these guys out sometimes. You don't have other. I mean, I don't think they haven't been necessarily a deadly force, but they're doing the best they can to make it work, especially with the loss of some other scoring guys that we're used to having, i.e. Joe Harris. And again, I know people will hate it, but losing Joe Harris really screwed up our spacing. Not even talking about just Joe Harris's shooting. I'm just talking about having Joe Harris in your lineup with the superstars does open it up for the superstars and other players a lot more, because you do have a 3-point threat. And when you remove a top 3-point threat, whether he chokes or not, when you remove that 3-point threat from the lineup, it is going to affect how the other players play. And it becomes a lot easier, as you saw tonight, when you lose another scorer in Patty Mills, and then you really only have 2 more scorers left. It becomes even a lot easier to double team one of them, and then you have to rely on Bruce and JJ and other guys to try to score. It's just.
Well, I think this transitions into another question. Do you think Nash should have taken a gamble to put someone out there? Like I forgot we had Galloway. Was he unavailable? Or was he able to play?
What it said was coach's decision not to play, and the other guy that we signed, the Harrison guy, it said coach's decision to not play. I don't know. My whole theory on that is, and I will try to. I'm going to look at some interviews after the game to hopefully hear some questions that I have questions to, like why didn't the young guys play? You know, are you just trying to get these guys ramped up? Because I'm curious to understand why he's going with the select type of players and not going to Cam Thomas or even Kessler for that. Like I said, I can understand some of the other players, but why didn't you go to them? If you're lacking scoring, why wouldn't you? Let's just stay with Cam Thomas, right? Like if you were lacking scoring, why wouldn't you give the man a run and get in there and help you out, especially when Patty went off the bench? And Cam's not going to. I think you could arguably agree that Patty and Cam, not one's really better than the other about defense, right? They're probably about the same. Obviously, Patty's probably a little bit better of a ball handler, a little bit better at putting that 3 up quickly. But, why wouldn't you put another scorer on the floor, somebody that's going to be open? The league does notice Cam Thomas now, and other teams do know he's there. Claude Smith said, honestly, I mean, that's a good question.
They're both pretty
both. I hate this because I mean, the thing with Kyrie and losing Kyrie, we've still been able to remain in first, and even without Harris, we've been able to remain first. So it's but they both move that needle significantly. Obviously, I think Kyrie's the more important player than Harris. Yeah. But I don't know, man. They both hurt us in very different ways. It just, when you have Kyrie in there, it's good luck, right?
Everybody can just kind of chill out and just
if Kyrie was here, we wouldn't be missing Joe Harris as much.
Yeah, and exactly. Well, and that's the thing. But then you go to Joe Harris, and what did Joe Harris made our freaking 3-point shooting plummet because of him and the rest of the team. So it's you could obviously say Kyrie's effect is you're getting to see more of KD and Harden getting double teamed and being able to defend a little bit easier, obviously without Kyrie. But then you take Joe out of the equation, and it's all of a sudden, oh, whoa, we're not hitting as many threes and consistently as we once did. And now we've got to rely on just one person or 2 people, and then that's a lot easier. So
I never realized how important Joe was, honestly. I knew he was important. That's why I didn't want I wasn't one of the people that wanted to trade him after the Bucks series. I wanted to give him another shot. But I never realized how important like he was until we didn't have him this year, and like our 3-point percentage falling. Like he's an important piece for us.
Like we're insanely lucky. Patty has risen to the occasion, way above expectations. Let's agree. He is our only shooter outside of Harden and KD. Like LaMarcus will hit the 3, but it's not like we're looking to get LaMarcus to be that 4 spacer. Like we just want him in that paint, like lining up. So shout out to Patty, but we need.
He's been having all-star, superstar performances consistently. Like he's been playing like an all-star whenever
Yeah, if he was putting these numbers up off the bench, I'd vote him in for 6th man of the year. Honestly,
Jenica Lawrence, we know that. I was making a point of we've been in first place up until the last 2 days without Harris and Kyrie. So something's working. I was using it to make a point, but yes, and we know we're in second place now officially. We have the tiebreaker. I get that.
I'm not put my 2 cents on the seeding right now. It's January. I don't care about seeding until end of February going onward. Like there's a lot of games to be played. A lot of teams can go on runs and teams can be stopped. Like let's be honest. Like
the only somebody brought up Joe. Joe can be Joe can definitely and one-dimensional. The only thing I will say, I will give props to Joe, and of course people always say I defend Joe because he's white, right? That stupid shit. The greatest clown take, but there's people like the one thing I will give Joe that kind of hurt was Joe. If you had been watching the games consistently, Joe was starting to play some great defense before he got hurt and was like getting better at passing and not only being like hitting his shot. So it was like we like lost him right when he was like starting to play.
Blossoming.
Yeah, he was starting to play better all around ball that other people and myself would complain. Like, I'm not worried about the shooting, but everything else with Joe is kind of hit or miss. And then here we started to get Joe, and players were recognizing it. There's a ton of interviews where people are like, we're acknowledging what Joe was doing and starting to play a different way. And their players were recognizing that. And then he gets hurt and goes out. And that was a big loss too, because he was giving you an added dimension that nobody expected for him to play halfway decent defense or just pass the ball. He started to cut down on those, like getting the ball at like a crunch time. And instead of panicking, he made a better pass. He took a little bit more time to make a better decision, because that was the other thing. I think he would sometimes he would just get overwhelmed with the moment, and it wasn't a shot moment, but it was like, do I pass it? Do I hold on to it? Do I go up with it? And I think he would screw those up. So it's been interesting to see that was starting to change a little bit with him, kind of like with Claxton. Claxton has been changing, starting to do other things that we've all wanted him to do. But
why is AJ in a bad mood?
It's probably cold outside. He in the
streets. He's driving. He's like, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean AJ's driving. I don't know where he's going. Right? Like,
he in them streets. I just told him
he in them streets.
He in them streets.
Well, I mean, listen, I wouldn't say I was mad tonight, but I was more like just embarrassed, like disappointed. Right? Like I wasn't mad. I was just like. I think it was like 3 minutes left in the game, and I just was kind of like, I was looking at it. I'm like, dude, this is not gonna go.
It's bad, but it's not like we don't. This affects our chances at winning a championship or anything. Like anytime like a bad loss happens, like you got to look at it like that, and you'll feel better. It's like we can still put the trophy. We still our chances for putting up the trophy is still the highest in the league. We'll be okay. Like it's not,
Shout out to Raheem Spells. Happy New Year to you, brother. Yeah, exactly. I hope everybody did have a good New Year's. I hope good shit for everybody in 2022. I've really gotten sick and tired of the first couple of years of 2020. So hopefully this is a better year for everybody and not so annoying. But
like World War III starts at like the beginning of the year. That's crazy. Like that shit starts up again. Like, oh my god.
Oh, Raheem, Patty fouled out. Patty was having a very decent game, and then he fouled out, bro. And it was just shocking. Like, I don't even think people, honestly, I think if you were an announcer and on the coaching staff, I don't know about you, but I mean, people in chat, were people paying attention to how many fouls Patty had? Maybe it was just because I was kind of all over the place watching the game, but I had no idea he had that many fouls. I was like kind of shocked. But I don't care about the seeding. Whatever. We're second. I mean, come on. You're gonna
as long as we're top 3, like it's okay. We're gonna finish top 2 regardless. So
we could talk about this. There's a little speculation of, and I was hoping to get him on tonight to kind of clarify. Jay from Brooklyn said in one of his spaces that a doctor came on and was talking about Kyrie potentially getting some exemption, something to do with after having COVID and then being able to get like a 90-day exemption from having to be vaccinated, and whether that could allow him to play home games. Now, I don't know the full. I've been hearing that rumbling for a little while now. I don't have like full clarity on that or like actual 100% facts, or if it is like true, right? Like say the doctor or somebody could write him an exemption, right? But who's going to grant that for him to play at home in New York? Is that going to be the state? Is that going to be New York? Is it going to be the league? Is it going to be the Nets? Like obviously the Nets would be okay with anything. So there's that, right? Like, so there's a potential there. And then I've seen stuff where people keep talking about, no, you can get vaccinated. That CDC is saying, yeah, after you get off and you're not testing positive anymore, like we still recommend you getting vaccinated right away. So I don't know. Like, I still think that's going to be an interesting how that plays out. We don't know if he's going to come back on the 5th or not. I think he came out again and said something with Steve Nash also said, just like looking at him, and he looks like he's Kyrie Irving and he looks like he's ready to go. But it doesn't they still haven't, like they're still being precautious and they haven't really given any indication whether it's going to be the 5th or whether it's going to be like the 12th, because I've heard the 5th and 4th floated a shit ton. And yes, Callaway, yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, it's that, but there was something related to that where that it could allow Kyrie to possibly be exempt and possibly play at home games if the exemption, I would assume, would have to be accepted by New York to some degree. And I don't know if in their whole COVID not being vaccinated shit like allows that door to open. It'll be interesting. And it'll be interesting to see what Adams does. But any y'all got anything you want to throw out there?
Javon Carter's bald.
It's Javon Carter's fault.
Javon Carter's bald.
Javon. Oh yeah,
how old is he?
He's like mid-20s and he's bald. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Bald.
Yeah, he looks older than me, bro.
Hey, LeBron Carter. That's his name.
LeBron Carter.
Oh, somebody said earlier there was a Clax discussion. Do we want Clax to? Yeah. Hey, real quick. There's 137 people in here, and we have 72 likes, 73 now because I just hit it. 140 watching. If you could help, hit that like button, subscribe, please.
Get us to 80 or 90.
That would try to get us to 100. It helps the channel out, gets it out there to see it more.
Algorithm.
So, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification. Touch it. And if we get to 100, Julian will give us another romantic interlude of.
I will. That's a factual statement.
Or in the chat, give us a subject, and Julian will do his best to narrate it in his.
My mic is really good.
Sexy voice, yeah. So. Yeah, so if you get us to 100, we are 16 away from Julie and Sarah. Yeah, coming up with something spicy. 15, we 15 away.
Like read like a page from the Cat in the Hat and like just like in the search.
Like, pull up something.
I'm a W reader. Like you remember in school where like you would do the popcorn reading and there was always that person in the class and they couldn't read on some shit. I was always
you was
the person
fucking laughing at him.
No, I would be like, but I read that shit so crisp, bro. Like I'm one of the best readers. Like I'm a better reader than the president, low key.
There's just some people in class.
Our last one or current one? Because I'm not saying you weren't. You aren't. It ain't.
Probably all of them. Yeah, probably all of them.
Popcorn reading was just so funny.
That shit was ridiculous, bro. Like, why
really,
are y'all doing what you're doing?
It really exposes some people. It really look at y'all like, how did you get here in this educational career? Like, how did you get here without knowing how to read?
Oh my god, bro! When you really see how people can't read, bro, it's the fun, bro. I used to be dying laughing, bro. Me and my friend be dying laughing with somebody, and you could tell when they get called on. You could tell by their face, bro, that they really like. It's like, damn, bro, I'm finna expose myself.
Like one of the easiest things to do in school will be reading. That's the easiest thing you can do. That's the I guarantee it.
Cakes Boo, popcorn reading is when you're in class, right, and your teacher, like, let's say you're reading a page, right? Y'all are reading a textbook. She'll call on one person to read maybe like a paragraph, and then she calls on another person in the room to read the next paragraph, and you do that with the whole class, basically. Like, if you're reading
this guy's back, bro. This guy's back.
What the fuck does that mean,
Somebody's
bro?
Gotta tell me. Like, I mean, we're not gonna be mean to him, and he may not understand us, but
what am I supposed to do with that, bro?
I don't know. I want to know if you can
can't translate.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who you are or where you are, but if you can understand, like, please,
you can't translate.
I'm very interested to talk to you. This is the only game, Anthony Davis. I can't say I can blame it on Javon Carter because he didn't even play. He's a one man we can't even blame tonight. Is Javon Carter? I think
he's saying he's wasting a roster spot. But
no, I agree he is, but I can't even.
Nah, the real Royal, like popcorn math, that's wicked. I never heard of that.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that. That's different. That's
Callaway
recent.
says
that's
you
wicked.
sound like
that's
the Allstate guy when you start talking about food.
Oh wow.
Age translated it. Shim you what?
Age you lying like
that's
shit.
Korean.
That's
Korean. That's Korean. That's legit.
Oh, that's Korean.
That's
Bro,
Korean.
y'all need to stop this because it's confusing me, and I don't like to be confused. I'm uncomfortable when I'm confused. I don't know what that means.
Anybody like Korean or knows?
When I lived in Atlanta, there was a lot of Koreans.
I'm trying to quit my current job. I'm not even going to get into that, but at the same time, like, hell yeah, I would be you can hook me up, get me a job with Brooklyn.
Wait.
I'll do it.
I know this boy didn't just say augments.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What did he say?
He said you make pretty convincing. That's crazy. Augments.
Claude is typing fast. Didn't hit the R. It happens. He's still working on his typing.
Okay, you good,
got
bro.
the message.
You good. You just missed the R. That's all. You missed one R. You good.
I'm not even convinced you can type yet, Julian. Right? Because you're never in Discord. Right?
W English.
You're never in Discord.
Why you do that?
Well, he does text me back, but I'm pretty sure he's got that like speak thing. So all he has to do is just like press the button.
You know what? You're right, saying I'm ratchet. Let me tell you what happened, right? I still haven't made. I got an iPhone, and I still haven't made. You have to make an account to go into the App Store to download Discord, and I was lazy and I ain't.
You still haven't done.
I'm gonna do that shit right. Remember I told you that? Like, I'm gonna do that shit right now, though.
And this is the same guy that just shut his door, so we didn't have to hear his fire alarm. No, dude, we have not heard your fire alarm for the longest time.
I know, yeah, because I closed that door.
Longest time, like, it would be the greatest thing. We'd be in here talking about something, and then somebody in chat be like, whose smoke detector is that? And then it would be like, see, right? And then we'd be like, and we'd all be quiet, right? It'd be like, listen, and then it would beep, and we all be like, we heard it.
Yo,
be like, what? I didn't hear shit.
Before the stream, like before, I forgot what stream it was, y'all. Saint was an L man's. Like he exposed me. He muted everybody mic and put me on blast. and we heard it come through my mic, bro. And I swear to God on my life, I could not hear it at first. And he exposed me, bro.
I did.
And ever since then, I gotta close my door.
Hey, do you know what? I have a box in my house closed, taped, and I've just been too lazy to go to the mail place to send you them Brooklyn Nets shoes. I'm gonna do that tomorrow after I take my kids to school. That'll be make it up to you. I still literally have them with your name and address like taped on my desk. I gotta send those to you.
Let me see if I can find a pair right now on stream, and I think that's a good way to end it off.
How much are the shoes now?
$2 something.
I might just.
Usually, if you go on StockX, and you look at your size, usually you can find a pair for like $20 to $30 cheaper, like on eBay or something.
I accidentally hit the rewind button, like the refresh button.
Isaac, why are you, Isaac? You just heard me say that I don't like to be like confused because it makes me uncomfortable, and you're actively trying to bother me, bro. I don't know what that means.
What is it? What is it?
And it hurts me. He keeps talking to me in Spanish. Like, why are you doing this to me?
Who are you talking about?
Why are you doing this to me, bro?
Hey, yo, we are eight likes away. There's 124 people in here, so 8 people out of 125. Oh, 25 now. Please, somebody hit the button. Please
click that.
No, we're not getting off till we hit 100. What was I thinking too? There was something else that was pretty funny, but how much are they now? How much are they now?
My size, they're like 220 and up.
Yeah.
All right. So, because if you were going to tell me, because I got 11s, right? I got 2 pairs of 11s. What are the 11s going for?
Yeah,
if they're like five, the 11s
are more expensive usually.
What are they going for now?
I'm like 3 sizes higher than 11. So
that's fine. But how much is the 11s going for?
Oh, a size 11?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like 240 or 250.
Cakes Boo saying ban her. Why do you want me to ban you, Cakes? What's up? What'd you do?
She said, "Do it." You crazy?
Do it.
I see 240.
Yeah, I'm right.
300, 200.
Ooh, damn!
Yes,
it's starting to spike up a little bit.
Well, I have 2 pairs, so if I feel like I want to sell one, at least one of the pairs is going to Julian, right? That's my gift to that man. But the other pair, I don't know if I'm going to wear those or not.
There is,
bro. Shoes are stocks today.
I did buy. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide if these were like a W, because I bought these the other day, and I wore these bad boys.
Oh wow!
You like them?
The SBs with the gum bottoms.
Those 3M laces.
Yeah, them's 3M. I could tell by them too.
That's fire. That's
dude.
Fire.
These were I wore these today with my new.
Are they comfortable?
Oh, dude. These were great comfortable for non-broken in shoe. That shit was comfortable. That's what I wore today.
I had a pair of low SBs a long time ago, and they weren't that comfortable. So I'm surprised.
That's all I'm really honestly rocking with is just unless I find like a pair of low dunks that I like I'm only really rocking with these bad boys. Yeah, I've already got
dunks are crazy expensive now. It's not.
Yeah, and you gotta fight. You gotta fight people to get those.
Steven, bro, stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing.
Yeah, that's me, pink. Hey, a real man wears pink, bro. Real
man. Pink is fire. Y'all need to stop playing.
It's not a bright pink.
That's a dark ass pink. I like.
And that's more of a salmon. A salmon.
That's green salmon. No, he's right. It is little orange in there. Like I like when they mix the colors up. I think the back of that shoe is fire. Be honest.
That's a good touch. I like that.
Yeah.
That look like something I designed.
Thank you, Pro Drip. Yes, thank you. They are fire, and they were comfortable as hell. It just depends on what kind of feet you're at. Like, because for me, I have like weird feet, not weird feet, but like certain shoes are too narrow, or then there's shoes that are too damn wide, or the front part's like too pointy, and those fit me perfect. Like,
he said SBs usually hurt my feet. They're usually not comfortable. The low ones, they're usually not comfortable. That's crazy that those are comfortable.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I was able to, my homeboy who is like a shoe junkie, he was able to get me a pair super quick, and then I tried to do it. That's right. That's the first time everybody's told me I got the drip. Usually when my age group, if you would have told me I have the drip back in the day, it would have meant something completely different. So I'm glad that comment's changed.
I'm going to show something I just picked up. I don't know
if
I just picked
oh, nice.
Were them the 350s or the 4? I forgot what they called.
MX 98.
Oh, 98. I'm thinking about Yeezys. I'm tripping.
I like those.
I just got a pair of Yeezys for like a good ass deal too.
Which ones?
The 380 Peppers.
The 380s. I know which ones you're talking about. I want them to release more 500s. I think them bitches underrated.
Ooh, Claude Smith coming in with a question.
Jubs, don't disrespect me like that.
I like 500s. They don't. I'm not feeling the colors on them sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not. They real like he be doing basic colors.
I'm just saying. Oh, the people were laughing at my drip thing.
Nah,
but
Drew,
I'm
you
just
thought this
saying.
was a Yeezy?
Would I cop those over Yeezys?
No, you thought this was a Yeezy. The big ass.
No, I just in my head I got the numbers mixed up.
Hey, all I'm saying is we need one more click. There's 115 people watching. We need one click for 100. But this is a good question. I mean, we don't have to get too deep into this. We kind of did talk about it as of today. Which players should be traded, cut, or benched? Carter traded, benched, or cut. Don't really care.
Yeah.
Paul Millsap, you could let him roll.
R.I.P. Javon.
Blake, I mean, you can't let him go unless you're bringing somebody in, but you still could. I'm not ready to let go Bruce yet, but I definitely, for me, the first two to go would be, and I don't care if they're traded, cut, or bent, like just Carter and Millsap. I think you could do much better. I think you could be much better. DDJ could take Carter's minutes, right? However minute they are. And I'm sorry, but I think Kessler could be more effective than Paul Millsap at this point, right? So Cam's been getting the play anyways, but I'm sorry, but I think DDJ and Kessler could do much better than Carter and Paul Millsap. Nobody has convinced me or given me anything of value to say that our team would be worse without him, right? Like if you have something that says Javon Carter and Paul Millsap would be better than DDJ and Kessler, I'm all ears, but I highly doubt you're going to come up with anything great. But, oh, yes, we made 103. Appreciate it. What did we say we were going to do at 100?
We got to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so you got to find something to read right now.
Bro, like read
like I don't care if it's a cat in a hat. I don't care what it is, but you got to read it in that yo man. Yeah. Like you got to do that again.
I don't know if they're ready for that. Like
they are ready, dude.
Don't read it now.
Don't you say what? You say green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
I ain't read that shit in a long ass time. Hold on, let me see if I can pull the book up. Hold on.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, I said this earlier, right? Like I don't know, but I mean, rotations were not good. I think it's an all-around acceptance. I'm not saying he's like going right at Nash. I don't think that's really, they're not going to come out and say that, but they take it as a team, as all the team, the coach, the players, they look at it as they're all the same as one team. So I don't think you're gonna.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Anthony Davis just killed the old shit. I'm not doing it. Just off that alone, I'm not doing it.
Now you're going back on your word, bro.
He killed it for the whole chat.
Nah, what did he say? What did he say? I can't find it.
The man said. Now I can't do it because I'm gonna be thinking of something else. Nah.
Yeah,
bro, do it. Nah, do it.
Hold on, I'm looking at. I am not finna. Hold on, let me see. This little. I can't believe I used to read this shit. What the fuck?
Do it, man. Do it. I
can't read this. This is crazy.
No, you said you were going to do it. Don't be a man that goes back on your word, dude. And Anthony Davis,
I can't read this. If he
refuses to read this, I'm timing you out, Anthony Davis. This will be all your fault.
The man called me daddy.
I know. I'm going to pause him out for 300 seconds while you read it. Let me. You got to do it. Let me find his name. I'll pause him out for 300 seconds, and then you could read. I can't find his damn name. I mean, where the hell did it go? All right, dude. Go. Oh yeah, here. Okay, I paused him out.
Y'all gotta give me. Y'all gotta find something else to read. I can't.
He's on timeout. He's on timeout, bro. Go for it.
So give me something else to read.
What else do you want to? What?
I'm not reading no Dr. Seuss. What the hell? That shit is gonna sound
just read anything, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I don't.
We just said do it in your voice. It could be a freaking cat in a hat. It could be a recipe.
Wait. I can tell y'all about that sandwich I ate yesterday.
All right, go ahead. Go for it.
We don't care.
That's it, man. Let me tell you something real quick. Do y'all have Publix where y'all at?
No.
What?
I have all
Publix. Yeah, y'all heard of Publix, bro?
I've heard of Publix.
They make these subs. Like they make these subs, and they're like way better than Subway. Like they shit on Subway, and they put a lot of meat on it. You feel me?
They put what did they put on it? What did they put? What did they put on it?
Meat. They put a lot of meat on it. There's this they have like this jerk turkey sandwich, and they put like it's my Jamaican people know what time it is, but like they have like this jerk turkey and shit, and they put some
jerk turkey.
Yeah, it's like jerk chicken.
Hey, what size is it? Because Cakespoo wants to know if they 12
foot.
A foot.
It's a foot. It's a foot long. Like it's a foot. And they have this whole they have like this flatbread and shit.
Nah, Julian, time out. You getting
what you mean, bro? Y'all asked me
hold
about
on.
the sandwich, bro.
You saying you're not gonna do it because some other guy was getting
no, dude, he's attractive, bro. Look at this. Look at this.
What I'm saying was a flagrant.
Monifa came out of nowhere and said, "A foot, sign me up." So it's working. There's ladies tonight.
Like that's good business. Look, it's a lot of food.
Cakespoo says you gotta half that shit.
You do. You gotta cut it in half, bro. What's that, bro?
Callaway saying that's a lot of meat, Jew.
That's a lot, bro. Why y'all doing that?
Resume.
Age says he's hungry.
Nah, y'all get Age, you suspect. Age, you suspect.
Nah, resume.
Yeah, no, they had like this type of like.
What does this mean? I'm either gonna get really mad at No Limit. What the hell does that mean?
Saint is a blade. What the fuck is that? What is wrong with y'all?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Everybody explain that to me, because that would
Chubbs,
be some
what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know.
What is that? Walking the blade? Y'all tell me what it means.
What does that mean?
I don't like to not understand shit.
Yeah, we haven't reached Nets After Dark. Is it bad?
I think I got a consensus of what it means.
Because I will slay No Limit. I got something I was gonna hold off on, like slaying him on the channel with.
Okay, let's not let that. Julie,
what does Saint a Blade mean? Tell me.
He's someone. Don't tell him. No, tell me what that shit means.
I'm gonna go on Urban Dictionary. Let's go on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, let's go on Urban. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Urban Dictionary. Because he's gonna open a can he don't want to fuck with tonight.
Chuz, why you being an op?
I'm not gonna say it. I just want personally to me just to see what it's worth.
They talking about Jew loves the meat. Y'all better stop playing with me.
Okay, let's see.
It means pause. No Limit Kai said it means pause, basically.
Oh, okay.
Why am I not getting it?
All right. Damn, okay, No Limit. You got a little scared, ain't it? That boy.
He didn't. No, if it's just pause,
that's crazy.
He said Saint is a blade, though. So Saint is a pause. What? That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, he said how long? You said how long is it? And he said pause.
Okay, but not okay. Resume, Julian. Let's we got sidetracked like shit. Let's just resume.
They have like a real like wide selection. They have a plethora.
Wait. Pause.
Go ahead.
So it says Blade, the location where prostitutes and pimps hustle, all known as the hoe stroll.
That's how y'all feel about me?
No, he's calling me that, bro.
No. Age said I'm walking the blade. He talking about I'm walking the blade. That's how y'all feel about me. I thought we was all cool.
I'm your pimp, bro. I'm your pimp.
Oh no.
I thought we was all cool. Age, I thought we was friends.
No, because what's her name? She came out earlier. I'm trying to remember.
You was gonna let him violate me like that? All right, bet.
So no, Monifa came out and was like, "A foot, sign me up." So I'm kind of pimping you out a little bit. So, and I'm just telling you, bro.
Oh,
I'm pimping you out. That's what I'm going with. But keep reading. Go
just read. Okay, how good was the sandwich? Let's just go with it.
Man, I ain't even finished telling you what was on that bitch. Like, let me tell you something real quick. They had like this type of mayonnaise. It's like, have y'all ever had sriracha
I was gonna
mayo?
ask you what kind of sauce.
Yeah, it wasn't sriracha mayo, but they have like this type of jerk mayo. It's weird. Like they mix the salt.
Why do you keep dropping the jerk in there?
It's jerk. It's some Jamaican sauce type.
Okay, but that's all I'm asking.
But yeah, it was jerk turkey and like jerk mayo, and they had like this type of spicy cheese on it and shit like that. And usually I get spinach on my sandwich because the regular iceberg lettuce is really just water, and there's not enough nutrition to for my liking. So I usually get some spinach. I usually get some spinach and some romaine lettuce, and I call it a day. And then at the end of it all, I'd be like, hey, squirt some oil on that.
Monifa's loving everything you're saying right now.
Squirt. And I tell him, I look him in his eye, I say, hey, like, squirt
him
some
or
oil
her?
on that. Either or.
Okay. So you look.
I say put some oil on it.
You looking at next month in the eyes and tell him squirt. Hey, no, Julian.
It's oil, bro. Like, what is oil? Like
you looked at him.
Because in the bottle you literally squirted. In the bottle you literally squirted.
You say you looked him dead in the eyes.
Let's see how many viewers.
I said squirt that oil on my squirt some of that oil on my sandwich, bro.
Let's see how many how mad do you think AJ's gonna get mad at us when he listens to
AJ know what time it is. He done had a sandwich.
Okay,
bro,
but really,
he's in his car right now, heated.
AJ be in the streets. He can't even say nothing to me. I'm talking about sandwiches. Bro, see y'all in the chat, y'all tweeting.
I'm dead.
But yeah, I tell him to put some water.
But quite honestly, Michael K goes, "Why are you whispering?"
I'm not whispering, bro.
Man. Okay, so daddy, chill.
AJ, get your fan. I'm finna call AJ,
but you know
bro.
Get
your fan base.
After today's game about being like just embarrassed and frustrating, I would much rather end tonight
this is a good
laughing my ass off. Like this is how I'm sorry, but this is how you end the game that you felt like you should have won. Okay, said that's his normal voice.
You can resume.
Are you enjoying this, Chums?
No, like
this is great.
And usually like they'll ask you like, is that enough? I said I want some more. You feel me? And so then he closed my sandwich, and I can't eat on the go. Like I gotta go home and shit like that. And so, bro, let me tell you something, bro. That shit was so fucking good, boy. Like I had they cut it and they can cut it in half or they can cut it like diagonally. And I tell them to cut it diagonally because it's a certain way that you gotta cut that shit, you know. And so I go home.
Right.
And it's really like, let me tell you something. Hey, bro. I'm not finna say it because people gonna be gay, bro, and I don't got time for it.
No.
Listen, bro. This is real shit. This is real shit. Like no gay shit. Like it's a big sandwich, and so sometimes, hey, bro. Sometimes it don't.
I feel like nah. Julie,
I know where you don't say it, Julie, because you're never gonna live that.
You're
never gonna live that, bro. Don't do it,
bro. It's a fat ass fucking sandwich, bro, and the bread big as fuck.
Nah, let's not,
bro. And like sometimes you can't fit it all in your. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta smash it down because it won't. I'm dead ass, bro. It's not no gay shit. I'm dead ass serious.
It's like one of those, like when you go to those like really good steakhouses or they have that burger. That's like
I don't eat them in. That's why I don't eat them in public because I open my mouth wide as fuck and I feel like that shit look gay. But it's a lot of food though.
Calories. Stop using the G word, bro. Let's just leave that out.
I was in school and I was eating one and I opened my mouth and my friend was like he did a sound effect when I opened my mouth to bite it. And I was like, I'm never eating one of these sandwiches in public ever again. I had to eat that shit in increments. I had to eat that shit in twos and shit. That shit was so good.
You had to use a knife and fork? Did you use a knife? What did Pro Drift said his jaw hurt?
Bro, you better stop playing with me, bro.
Nah, this is split. No.
Dude, what laugh?
My jaws do gotta do on some predator shit.
Julia, stop, bro.
I'm just being honest. I gotta send y'all a picture of the sandwich, bro. Look up, look up a picture of a public sandwich and put that shit on the screen.
Text it to me in Discord, and then
look up a picture of a public sandwich.
Look up a picture of a public sandwich. That shit is
exactly, Cakes. We don't hear shit. We don't hear shit from Julia, right? And then Julia comes on randomly tonight and just drops all this shit.
Bro, I like sandwich meat, bro. Stop playing with me.
This is like exactly Age. Age is saying this was like the K-Cock stream. Remember when we
that was chat's fault. That was y'all being
chat's fault. K-Cock stream was chat's fault. I will. But yeah,
I took dead ass right. When I was in school, dead ass, and I opened my mouth, bro. And as soon as I bit like my friend dead ass and shit like that, I was like, bro, don't. And I didn't.
I know you were a little self-conscious. I could tell. Like, because when sometimes you'll be on stream and we'll be talking, and all of a sudden somebody will say something, and you'll look up, and you're like, what?
Bro said I looked into his eyes.
I love you, man.
I said put some oil on my sandwich.
I love you.
Nah, you ain't had to say you looked at him.
You literally squirted though. Like you
had to
squirt that shit.
You didn't have to mention you looked him in the eyes.
No, because that's good conversation skills. That's good communication skills. You look people in the eye when you speak to them. So he asked me. He said, "What you?" I was like, "Bro, squirt that oil on my sandwich."
Kingsboo says, "I wish I could figure out what to say."
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'm the only one. Hey, I'm the only one who's on camera here laughing my ass off.
Bro
said squirt got it though. That's crazy.
Nah. Him saying he locked eyes with him, that got it. He locked eyes.
Bro, it's good content. It's good communication skills, bro.
Oh man.
Oh my God! Well,
you ain't never got a sandwich made, and you be like, bro, put
I don't think I've ever locked eyes and said.
I don't think you understand.
I don't think I've ever.
In New York, we go up to the counter, say what we want, and we walk away. We get our drink and just wait. We don't lock eyes and tell them, "Yo, put some more on." We just nah. No,
yeah,
I ain't blink either, but not on no gay, but like not on no gay shit. But I ain't blink. Like I'm that type of nigga.
Huh? We may have to erase. We may have to delete this. I may have to have AJ delete half of the ending of this.
You gotta edit it out.
I'm gonna tell AJ right now, bro. No. I'm gonna tell AJ. I'm gonna tell AJ. Dude, the last. I'm gonna tell this. The last part of the stream.
I love mayo on my sandwich, bro. That mustard mayonnaise, that mixture. Stop it.
Out of hand, and then I'm gonna say Julian lost it tonight.
What that mean, bro?
Look at it.
I was just casually talking about the sandwich, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly. I don't know if you could see that shit, but that's exactly what I said. Oh no, it's not gonna do it.
It's not gonna focus. It's not gonna focus. Oh man.
Damn, bro.
Nah, anybody who got a Publix in their shit, y'all know what time it is. Or if
I don't think there's a Publix. There's not a Publix in New York.
Nah, but I listen. When Julian brings it. That shit is fun as hell.
Nah, that was a good laugh.
Jenica Lawrence said Russian sauce is what it's called.
Rude. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Know. But... It's Saint and the kids tonight. I am the old fuck of the group. I will agree. I am the old bastard of the group. I am Uncle Saint. Yeah, I'm the uncle that like you definitely like lets the little kids do whatever the hell they want. I'm the cool uncle. I'll keep your secrets. Don't worry. I won't rat on you.
Don't forget the bed. What's your favorite thing to drink like when you eat something?
Arizona. But I'm from New York. I'm from New York, so that's
lemon water. We do. Arizona's are big over here too. Like
it depends on what you're eating.
But I hit that lemon water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly. Don't lie. We all feel better. If you stuck around to the 102 people that stuck around to hear this shit, like you have to be, and you're not laughing, then you got problems right now. I don't know why, but
you drinking a red stripe with your sandwiches, Janika? Okay.
I actually had.
Oh,
but right. I had what is actually good with Mexican food because I had one tonight is and please don't get mad at me when I say this, but the Modelo Negro. You have that?
Why you say don't get mad?
I'm not. That's like they say.
This is really what it's called.
But yes, in Spanish. Yeah, Modelo Negro. It's Modelo. It's if you look it up in Spanish, it's like. But it's like a darker beer, and it goes great. It goes great with Spanish. Like tonight, I had.
What's the difference between other beers?
I mean, it's how do I explain it? I mean, it's a cerveza, obviously,
it's
which
brewed
is beer.
Differently.
No, it's more of a darker. Like, how do I explain it? It's like a little bit of a darker lager. The shit's good though, and it's like really good. Yeah, don't be mad at me, dude. Okay, I'm telling you. Go look at it. I ain't saying it again. Okay. I ain't saying it again, bro. Like, listen, hey, just so you know, I've asked for permission. Like when I was doing what's Kyrie doing? Remember when I asked you guys for permission? What was appropriate? I asked permission before I say shit and even understand it. But I ain't saying it again, bro. That is. Yes.
Hey, he rolled the R.
Exactly. Thank you.
He rolled the R. Stop playing. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Y'all chill out.
And I tried it. Yeah. It's literally the Spanish word for black. So chill out. Yes. And I live in California, so I'm around a lot of Spanish people. I hear things. It is a Spanish beer or Mexican beer, whatever you want to call it. And it's really good with Mexican food. And tonight I had some like spicy ass like carne asada with like beans and rice.
That sounds
good. And that beer just. It hits perfect. And Blanco is for white. Exactly.
Saying you had the cilantro on it.
I did.
Cilantro, that green. Oh my god, that's crazy.
And the
cilantro is
and they cut it and they cut up the carne asada like in like little cubes and they saute that shit. and then they just drip the salsa.
Yeah, they do. That's what they do. You right about that.
And then when you get out one of these Modelo's and you're chewing that meat, and then it just goes down smooth. Like
y'all gonna let Saint say that, chat? Y'all gonna let him just say whatever he want to say? That's what y'all gonna do.
Julian, I'm just shaking my head at this point.
Y'all gonna allow that?
I'm just shaking my head at this point. He said it goes down smooth.
he said when you chew on that meat, that's crazy.
It go down smooth.
He said when you chew on that meat. I ain't say nothing like that. I was just talking about the turkey. That's what
Monifa, I'm originally from New Jersey. I'm a Jersey boy. I grew up back east, and my parents split up when I was young, so I went back and forth, East Coast, West Coast, and eventually settled out here. Oh, AJ just texted me. He said, laughing. Okay, AJ goes, last time he's like, you talking about the sandwich talk?
Bro, I told you he was listening to that.
I was like, yes.
I told you.
I'm like, yes, and it got worse.
I told you he was listening to that in his car. I know he tight. I know he tight.
No, he's not tight. He's not tight. But no, I'm originally from the East Coast. Like I grew up back there. I grew up back there like early, I was born in 76. So I grew up good part of the 80s into the like mid to late 90s. So for me, I was back there when it mattered. Like I got to grow up through the birth of hip hop, got to grow up to exactly age. I'm a legit Nets fan. I was a Jersey Nets fan for a long ass time, like pre-kid days. So I just settled out here and I got a boy out here. And when he's 18, then I can decide. I may come back east. I don't know yet, but yeah, that's how I became a Nets fan. I was born northern New Jersey, so like Denville, Boonton, Rockaway. Born in Denville, but that's near like Morristown, like northern Jersey. So I was like 45 minutes from New York City. Hit the tunnel, and I spent so much time in the city during like high school and going to all those crazy ass clubs.
So since
Palladium, Roxy, all that shit, like Limelight back in the day, like couple reggae clubs that dude, I loved it, man.
All the clubs, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so since we on food, like since all the Jersey heads, is it a Taylor ham or a pork roll?
For me, it's Taylor ham. And like every time I go back, I literally go to a diner, like hole in the wall diner, and I'll literally order 4 like Taylor ham sandwiches, like Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser roll, and I'll eat 2 of them right there, and then I'll bring the other ones back. So yeah, but people have been calling me Saint for like over 20 years, just like gaming stuff. It's been a nickname, so I just kind of rolled with it.
Man.
Palisades Mall, that sounds very familiar. I went to the Rockaway Mall. There was the rich area, Short Hills Mall. That's the one I remember. But I do remember Palisades. May have been there like once or twice. That sounds familiar. But yeah, I loved it back, man. I miss back east. But yeah, like my parents were born in New York, but I was born in Jersey. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up eating Taylor ham, man, and Taylor ham is goddamn, bro.
What is that
shit? Taylor ham is like shit. I would Google it if I were you. Just it kind of comes in like a salami type like covering, and then so AJ comes back and he goes, "Bro, I'm gonna have to re-listen. That shit was so OD." He's like, "Glad I didn't have a girl in the car because bro, shit sounded OD." That was from AJ. But yeah, no, I mean it's just I don't even know how to explain the taste because it's not like a salami taste, right? But I don't even know, bro. Like if you can, somebody's got to have it in Florida, bro. But I don't even know how to explain. How would you explain Taylor ham taste to somebody that's never tasted? It's got this. It sounds like spam, but it ain't. No, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain Taylor ham.
Hey, like Chat, has anybody seen the new Matrix? And if you did, how was it?
I did see the new Matrix.
You liked it?
I didn't.
Be prepared for a completely different story.
Uh-huh.
They do their best to connect it to some degree, old and new. It was okay. It wasn't as I will say the. It wasn't as good as the original. 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 It wasn't as good as the No, well, Nick, Taylor ham's a Jersey thing in general, and I think if you're north, you call it Taylor ham, and if you're south, you call it pork roll. But that's my opinion. But it wasn't like I liked it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Right? Like the visuals were awesome. I felt the story was lacking. It was a little weak for my taste. The ending was really cheesy, to be honest with you, but in my opinion, right? Like I know Age liked it, but I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Like the preview, like if you go watch the preview on YouTube or whatever, like it made it look like it was just going to be mind blowing, and it just. What I did see today that I actually enjoyed was the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh my
God,
that was good, wasn't it?
I went and saw that with my two boys and his cousins and their uncle, and we went and went to one of those theaters with like the leather chairs that recline all the way back and you can like lay out. So
how you like that?
I liked it. I love they did a great job how they blended the old Spider-Man stories and the old actors with the new one. I thought it was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
that shit made 1.2 billion already.
Now I feel like there's a little preview of what like the Twitch is gonna be like. This is a good little like what it could.
What is Jenica? What are you on with all this like conspiracy propaganda weirdo stuff, man? What's going on with that? She keeps typing the same shit, but it was okay. I don't take movies for like literal conspiracy theory weirdo shit. I just like if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Like But yeah, no, it's worth it. I saw it. I think I watched it at home. Oh, Jenica, you on some serious shit. She's like truth serum, dude. Oh man. I saw it on HBO Max at home on my big screen. I just got the vibe not to go watch it at the theater.
Yeah, once again, y'all go see Spider-Man. That's like probably that's the best live action Spider-Man movie ever. Like it's literally just like that.
I'd say it contends with Endgame. It might be.
It contends with it does, bro.
Yeah, no, not even. To me, I'll push back on that and say no way. That's not.
It's not nowhere close.
No. It's a good. Spider-Man's a good. This recent movie is a good movie.
Endgame is different.
Endgame, no, it don't.
It's a culmination of 10 years and every. So it's not.
Yeah, you can't.
But the feeling that I got from the Spider-Man movie when certain things happened, like I was like, oh my god. But yeah, it's not Endgame level. But it's if you're a Spider-Man fan, like a hardcore Spider-Man fan, you'll probably get like an Endgame level feeling out of it.
Jenica says she's the Kyrie of the chat.
Don't play with him like that.
The Twitch thing? We were gonna do the Twitch, and I forgot what day it is. So I think next weekend we're gonna just test run the Twitch, and it's gonna be crazy shit. Like Julian's gonna be reading things again, and we get
basically
crazy
the last like 30 minutes is what it could possibly be. Like.
No, the last 45 minutes of this show, is gonna be like on Twitch. It's gonna be nuts. We're gonna say whatever the hell we want.
But
it's gonna be
but back on like that Spider-Man, I think they see what Endgame. You kind of have to watch a good amount of the movies to understand like
you do
why this is so good. I feel like Spider-Man's done a good enough job where you can just watch it without knowing any other Marvel movie, and you'll still get a good experience out of it.
It's a top 5.
I mean, they did Marvel movie. Considering the 3 different Spider-Men that they've had, they did a great job of blending all 3. And just like having what came through is like the respect level, and then just like blending the stories, I thought was great. Like they did a great job with that.
The way they came in was so crazy to me in my theater.
Yeah, I thought that how they all left was a little cheesy, but I mean, I did like at the end of the movie they set up where what's his name, Hardy as Venom was there drinking drunk, and then. As he got whisked away, he left part of the symbiote. He left part of So I don't know if that's just that's their way of introducing that into because I think is it Fox? I can't remember if it's Fox or Sony that still technically owns the rights to Spider-Man, but they've like given them to Marvel. But I think Sony's realizing like without Marvel and the whole Disney thing. Our shit's a little weaker. I think they would be smarter to leave Spider-Man partly in their control.
In 2 weeks, it's been their highest selling movie ever, and it hasn't even released in China. It's at $1.2 billion in 2 weeks. Like,
I wasn't happy with the most recent Venom. I'm not a fan of the Venom films. I think there's funny moments in them, and
but they're not good films.
If you've read the comic or know anything about Venom in the comics, it's a huge disappointment.
They're fun, but they're not like legit good films like the Spider-Man films. Like
the first one was cool, but the second was like, ugh.
I have fun watching them. Don't get it twisted.
I mean,
Sony
doesn't make good job.
Superhero movies like that. They just don't get it right. That's why you know.
I got mixed feelings
got the juice right now.
I got mixed feelings on Black Panther, man, because I don't like losing
Chadwick was
losing Chadwick.
So good.
I almost feel like I guess my thought is please don't do. I mean, kill what was his name? Jordan, right? Jordan. Right? Like he could play a great Black Panther. I just don't know how cheesy it would be to try to like bring him back from the dead to make him Black Panther. But if he had stayed alive somehow, he would have been a great guy to go to. I know they want to push one of his sisters, but I don't. I'm a little concerned at how I'm just a little concerned with the Black Panther. I don't want him to fuck it up because Chadwick was amazing, and like the one thing about like Black Panther when it came out was that like, and I'll just say it, a lot of dumb white people or people that were super sensitive like didn't understand the impact that having a superhero like Black Panther and Chadwick that he played, like what it meant to we're talking about kids going back to like before all y'all were born, right? And then before like me, and when I was younger, like when Black Panther came out in comics, most people don't even realize what he originally looks like in the comics. Like what a huge factor and deal that was during civil rights times and all that to have a character come out, and it was just amazing. And a lot of younger Black kids back in the day, like they loved it and they looked up to it. So when that movie came out, it and then Chadwick, and then if you know anything about Chadwick and you've actually listened to that man give speeches about like college like when graduations and different shit. Yeah, like if you actually listen to that man and then listen to what he's tried to do in like when he's in there and he wants to like when the studios try to push a narrative and he actually stands up for the actual message and the actors and like, no, you're not going to just use the stereotypical thing. Like, so to me, that one's like one of those movies, like, please don't fuck up with that man. Like what he brought to that part and what it meant on so many different fronts. So I'm just a little like, please tread lightly with Black Panther 2. Don't.
His sister, like she doesn't want to get vaccinated, and they're supposed to be shooting right now. I think for the next one, it's gonna be called Wakanda Forever. So she might get fired. Like she's on the verge of like getting fired because she doesn't want to get vaccinated and she can't come overseas. So she's like on the verge of getting fired. Shuri, the one who plays Shuri.
Right.
So now it might not even be her. So now it's looking really like rough right now. Like
yeah, I'm interested in that, but
you just all be crazy as Black Panther. That was, honestly, that was my first thought when they said they'll make it.
What?
Idris Elba Black Panther.
Oh, there's a couple spots, man. That like even when they floated the Black Superman story, right? Like.
Oh yeah,
I look at guys like him. I look at guys like that would be an amazing.
But Kevin Feige, like 2 days or a week after Chadwick passed away, said he's not recasting him. So it's like I don't.
Yeah, you gotta. That's why I said you gotta be like, you gotta come up with a whole new thread and find a new path to finding a new Black Panther, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's gonna be
I think the smartest thing would be to. Depending on if there's somebody within the storyline because he had so many sisters, like, and that's the thing. Do you want to make it a Black Panther or a girl? Like, unfortunately in today, it's like anytime somebody puts somebody of this color, this sex, somebody gay, not like people freak out and like, oh, it's like, whatever, dude. Comics have been around for decades, but upon decades, actually tackling social issues of all the things that people freak out about way back then. So it's like the stories are there. It's just how do they do it? Do they go forward with a female Black Panther? And I'm not opposed to that. I don't care. You know,
in the comics, that's what happened.
Yeah, that happens.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, and they look at it as not that it's a story. They look at it as, oh, they're pushing an agenda, and it's like, no, dude. It's like these stories have been there for a long time, way before any of these so-called causes you like to complain and whine about being sensitive. Like the storylines have been there, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about it.
Like people are mad that Ariel was cast as a black girl, or Superman's getting casted by Michael B. Jordan. I don't think you understand. They're not like the actual characters. They're not based on real. Superman's a whole alien, and the Little Mermaid's literally a fictional urban legend, a being that doesn't exist. And y'all want to put a race on that? Like y'all just sound hella weird. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird.
I know that they've been trying to get this story going for a little while, Calloway, and I don't know if something's up with it or they're just treading lightly with it. But I know the guy that they got to play the new Blade.
Oh my God, yes.
Name. He's a great person. I don't think you should bring Wesley Snipes back
the new Blade
fully, but I do think I hope
What's his name? I can't think of his name.
Because Mahershala
Ali, that's his name.
Mahershala Ali. That dude is perfect.
Amazing. That's perfect casting. I don't even need to see the movie. That's perfect cast. He's a great actor too.
I definitely hope they honor Wesley in there and even giving him a part, but I don't know how far they're going to go. But I could understand. I think it would be great if they did it in the new Blade, that they do some like torching, like passing of the torch from Wesley to Blade would be to the new guy would be nice.
If it wasn't Ali, I would have said Michael K. Williams, may he rest in peace, would have been perfect for that.
Yeah.
He would have been crazy.
No, Mahershala, like just when he smiles, you could just see like you could just imagine the fangs on him and the eyes. Yeah. Like that's perfect, bro.
I don't know how young some people are, but if you haven't seen those Blade movies, they're fire. Like they're so like there's some of the, but those like arguably you got to give Wesley Snipes in the Blade movies. They kind of were some of those first real legit superhero type movies. Most people didn't know he was a superhero from Marvel, right? They just thought it was another vampire kicking ass, but he kind of paved the way a little bit too for current superhero movies and why they do so well. But yeah, exactly. Real Royals. Wesley's got to get that haircut too. That would be sick, dude. If he just came back looking the same with the lines and shit. Yeah, the third one was okay, but yeah, Blade 1, 2, and 3.
Third one was something.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Betty White, yo. Everybody loved this. See, the one thing I love people like Betty White, that it didn't matter what color you were, what religion you were, what like political you were. She was like one of these people that like just crossed. Age. Betty White did die. I was at the movie theater today, and they were like advertising still because they were going to have some big television thing or something for Betty White, and they were still advertising it and for her 100th birthday. She was about to have her 100th birthday, and she passed away. But Betty White was badass. Shout out, R.I.P. to Betty White,
man, for real.
Because she was a pioneer too, even back in the day when she had her own show, and she was bringing on during legit days of racism, like I think 40s, 50s, like I'm trying to remember when she had her show. Shout out, AJ, where she gave time to try to remember the singer. It was an article I just read the other day where it was like the network and people were complaining that she was giving some black musician, like a lot of time. And then so she just turned around and said something to the extent of like, well, oh, good. I hope you get over that issue, and then gave him more and more time. And then they finally canceled her show. But like, she's been a pioneer since like back in the day of just being a good freaking human being all across the board, sticking up for everybody. You know, she was funny as shit too.
Yeah. There's not one person in this stream or panel or chat that has not seen Golden Girls at least once and you've not laughed out just because of what
that is true. Like, AJ, you came back at the wrong time, bro. You should have been here like 30, 40 minutes ago, bro. I'm telling you, there's going to be a
AJ, you late too. You late.
I know you said don't go to 3 hours. We're at 2:17. We're about to end it soon, but bro, it got a little crazy. Julian went on with his he started. Yeah, you heard it. Part of it.
AJ, he lying.
No, I ain't lying. AJ, you. Thank God you don't have control of deleting these posts.
AJ gonna come in here talking about some Rip Betty White. No, AJ, no, we not.
No, we don't have a talk.
No, we don't gotta have a talk.
You in trouble, bro. Hey, AJ, there was this one point in a story where he's like, I looked this man in the eye and I said, squirt.
I did not say it like that.
I said, squirt. I locked eyes and I said, no. You didn't say put. You said squirt, right?
I said, can you put some oil on my sandwich? You said
squirt. No, you said squirt more.
Chubb, what did I say?
You said you locked eyes with him, and you said squirt more.
That's
first off, you locked eyes with him. I'm assuming you went all up in his face.
That's good communication skills. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't lock eyes with people when y'all speak to them.
Not when I say squirt, unless it's
AJ on the watch back. You gotta watch back is crazy.
AJ, don't let them manipulate AJ,
like the watch back will be crazy. Bro, say he locked eyes with him and said squirt more.
That is not what nobody said, bro. You tweaking.
DT, you are a little late to the party, man. Just rewind from the beginning and you'll know why we lost.
Yeah, man. This is the end to this stream has just been good. Or the last
Real Royal, bro. You gay, bro.
But let's put it this way. Tell me if there's one person in the chat that's still watching that is not leaving this chat feeling better than you when you came in. Because I feel a lot better than I did when I came in here.
Bro, AJ, the whole story was out of pocket.
OJ Mayo, hey, you know what, OJ?
No, that was
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Listen back when he first talked about
unsub. That doesn't your takes. This doesn't hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah, no one's losing sleep over OJ Mayo.
AJ said, "No, this is out of pocket."
Bro,
I was gonna Twitch level shit.
I was gonna stop him when he said there was a whole lot of meat, and he was just emphasizing the word meat. I'm like, yo,
AJ,
I know he was.
I want you to know that everything they're saying is taken completely.
And I know he was explaining.
I just want you to know that
a Jamaican seasoning, but he casually kept putting the jerk in there too. Didn't he?
Yes, it was jerk.
That's not it's a seasoning. It's like AJ, jerk sauce is a seasoning.
AJ, I want you to know that what they're doing is they're reflecting. Right.
Yeah, hey Julian, stop at the G word because it will get taken down.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, they're reflecting, AJ. I ain't even do nothing. I was just describing my sandwich for real.
Actually, AJ, the deal was if we got to 100 likes, Julian would read something. We were trying to get him to read like Cat in the Hat or something like that, but then he went with the sandwich story that he had the other day. Yeah, he goes, exactly. This is some Twitch shit, bro. Yeah, no, this is that we're just warming the group up for Twitch. So if you've been enjoying the last hour of this stream, then you will enjoy our new Twitch channel because we're just gonna be stupid.
Real Royal, don't ever disrespect
OJ, we put people down. No, we laugh and have fun because you know what? The majority, if not most of the people in this chat are in our Discord and other people that come on here. And we actually laugh and have a good time. As long as you're not a sensitive human being, we have fun in here. And I think we all cap on each other if you haven't noticed already. So I'm sorry you feel that way. If you feel like you should unsub, I appreciate you checking in and having fun with us as long as you did. But hopefully you can find one that fits your way of thinking and feelings. I appreciate you. You did add to this channel. But yeah, I think we should probably end this. This was actually a great way to end. I appreciate the 85 people that have stuck around for this. But yeah, no, I don't even want to respond anymore, OJ. But I get it. It's okay. But yeah, man. So we look forward to the next game. When is that? Is that what? Thursday? When is that? No, when is our next game? Tuesday? Monday? Is it Monday? I don't even know. I've been so out of it here. Is it Monday?
I think so.
Let's see. Let's see when our next game is. I don't even know when.
Monday. It's Monday.
Who are we playing? Who we playing? Oh, we got the Grizzlies. All right. Yeah, they're 23-14. We are 23-11. So not very similar records. We do know the Grizzlies have been playing really tough. They've embarrassed the hell out of the Lakers. So I think if we can beat the Grizzlies, that'll just give us one more notch that we can laugh at the Lakers with. So, and hopefully we have a little different game plan, right? You know, they got a couple days at home, like 2 days today. No, actually just one day. Hopefully they figure something out. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm seeing some people say we lost. I saw people earlier saying we're going to, Ja's going to have 50 points and we're going to lose. That's an L. Nah. I'm not going there with that. Hopefully though, going that game, I do think this would be a smart game for the Nets to run Clax more faster. I hope to God, maybe we see some of the young guys in there. That would be nice. I would like to see that. I do feel like the Grizzlies they're a relatively young team, correct? If I'm correct by that, right? Hello, everybody. All my comments disappeared.
Sorry.
I said they're a young team, right?
Yeah, very young.
Yeah. So I definitely think you're going to see a lot more. I definitely think you're going to see a lot more like speed with them. That it would be nice that if we could kind of match that, and hopefully those are. Hopefully we can do something to match that, and not just put Blake out there more or Paul Millsap or LA. Like, just let's try to match their speed and energy. And I don't see why we can't do that.
We'll be okay. I think we'll get the dub. If we don't, we'll still be 23-12. So y'all don't have to panic. It'll be tough if we lose, but it's okay.
Yeah. Either way, all teams go on losing streaks. This time it's just us.
Okay.
So, all right, y'all. You got anything else to say before we dip out of here?
Follow me on.
Real quick. I'll read. You want me to read it? I'll read it.
Yeah.
So just if you want to follow any of us on Twitter, follow AJ at Nets Kingdom AJ, me at SaintNet1, Rage at Nets Rage. It's scrolling down at the bottom there, and you can follow Chubbs at Chubbs Nets. The C and the N are both capitalized, and on Instagram you can follow AJ at Nets Kingdom 711. That's always fun too over there. If you haven't made a Twitter, and all I have Twitter for is like Nets, like that's all I follow. I don't follow political crap. I don't get into anything else. I just literally am in the Twitter, Nets World Twitter, and there's a lot of fun spaces over there where you get to listen to guys like Brandon and Jay from BK after the games on spaces. We've done a couple spaces from time to time, and they're fun. If we don't want to stream, but we just want to talk. Twitter's fun. It can be a little brutal, a little sensitive, a lot kind of like our chat a little bit, where the takes are all over the place, but people can come at you a lot more. I just literally follow Nets stuff, and it's a fun little community. Once you get plugged in there and communicate, it's really opened the door for us to like meet other people, like some of the guests that we've had on Nets, like Keith McPherson, like Scoop B. We've had a couple of the reporters on. We're continuing to try to bring guests in, and it just eventually it makes the show better. It makes enjoying the Nets, Nets fandom. It makes it a lot more fun. So we're always like laughing and joking there and having some good shit. Oh, dude, there was something I did want to show that I have to show before. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Damn. I know how I'll find it. I'm going to share my screen of Twitter. This shit is comedy, dude. And I've been trying to figure out who posted this shit, but it is funny as hell. It used to be something that was shared, but check this out, bro. Remember when they were doing Kyrie? They were doing his like the.
Oh yeah,
when they were doing the advertisement for that, but this shit is fucking hilarious, dude.
That shit is so funny, bro.
It's perfect. It literally.
You know what? I see OJ say this. This has to be one of those trolls we could. It's got to be.
OJ Mayo films. Oh man.
But I mean, this shit was funny, dude. I thought this was hilarious, so I figured I had to share it. This is what we'll end the stream on with, but
I feel like that makes sense because I mean he is better. So
yeah.
Chubbs, Julian, if you got anything to say, otherwise.
If you send the shoes out tomorrow, make sure you send the box.
Oh, they're in the box for sure.
All right, bet. Thank you.
Yeah. No. I put them in the box, then I put them in another box and pack some packaging around it so the box doesn't get dinged up. I'm gonna try and get it. I'll do it Monday after I drop because tomorrow's Sunday, so I'll send them out Monday.
Yeah, best to do that Monday. Yeah.
All right, bet. Thank you, Saint. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. You got anything, Chubbs? You good?
Nah, I'm chilling.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've stuck around with the 86 at the end, we do appreciate it. It is fun. Hopefully next week we'll get that. Oh, why is it that's doing that weird shit? Hopefully we'll get our Twitch going so we can just act stupid and have fun with it. We'll see you guys hopefully Monday. Hopefully Monday we get a W. I definitely don't want to lose 3 in a row. We've done relatively good about keeping losing streaks under control, or it just for whatever reason we're really good on the road and we seem to be struggling at home a little bit more. I think don't we have a better road record than home record? So yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope so. Hopefully there'll be more news. We can find out about Kyrie when Kyrie comes back, and hopefully we see influx of the young guys on Monday. That would be nice. So other than that, at the last minute, the El Janitor comes in.
The final hour.
Wow.
We were just closing it out, but we are okay. AJ's like, don't make it three hours, but I'll get we're staying on until you're ready, until you're done.
Hey, I'm just tapping in for a few minutes. We just finished talking for hour and a half about Coach Nash.
Oh, good or bad? Because see, I'll just say this. My take on today's game was it went all around, right? This was a game that it's not a panic thing. It's not anything like that. But to me, this is an embarrassing kind of loss because this game we should have won. And when I listened to what KD said and Nash said, the vibe I got was all around. We weren't on the same page from the jump. Right. So I wasn't really kind of placing blame. KD was pretty decent in the first quarter. Harden was kind of not really nowhere to be too found. And then the second half, Harden made his emergence and KD was kind of doing his thing. So I don't know. I kind of place blame on everybody. Everybody wanted to place fingers and say, no, it was Nash's fault. It was people were trying to blame Harden. People were trying to say KD ghosted. Everybody was. But then at the end of the day, it's you lose Patty. And then you're down to 2 scores, and all they did was body KD with 2 bodies on him. And it's what options did you really have for scoring? And then the defense just didn't close it out for us like it normally does. And the rotations were off, in my opinion. Should have had more Clax, should have had more Bembry, should have been less Brown and less LA, and it should have been more Clax and Bembry, in my opinion. But
no, there's a lot of blame to go around. It was, usually the conversation about Coach Nash is bad. My thing is, and I don't believe in this, but a lot of people talk about trap games, especially in football, what have you. This would be a classic trap game. When you see who's not playing for the Clippers, you man, we ain't got to take this game seriously because they have so many people out, and then you take your foot off. You take your foot off the gas.
Yep.
But for me, that's to be expected in the regular season. They're sleepwalking through the regular season.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm sure I've said this with you all before. Made so much noise about getting the number 2 seed last season, and it meant nothing when the playoffs came around because of injuries. My number one thing is: are we healthy? Are we going to be healthy when the playoffs come around? There's so many things that were wrong about tonight's game. At the same time, did we come out healthy? We did. Cool. Then I'm good.
Yeah.
Then that's what I was
kind of saying earlier.
That's why I said it's more
really affect our playoff chances of winning the championship in the end. In the end.
Yeah. But people don't want to hear that.
No. Yeah. That's why I said that this was more of an embarrassing loss than really anything. It wasn't a panic. It wasn't a panic. It wasn't it wasn't fire people. No, it wasn't, you can't even blame Javon Carter because he didn't play tonight, but it was just an embarrassing loss. And like you said, it was disgusting. And that's all you can really put on it,
But you're going to have those.
Yes, you are.
You're going to have those. And My thing is, and you all did a good job with Keith earlier this week.
Thank you.
With you all mentioning how much I say relax, it's like this is a very long season.
Yes.
Because they don't give optimal effort on January 1st, 2022, you can be upset in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, so what? And I say that from the standpoint of, and I don't have it in front of me, but Saint, you or maybe somebody can pull it up. I oftentimes remind people, pull up the Bucks schedule from last season. And look at their first approximately 30 or so games.
Yeah.
They lost to the Knicks. They lost to the Hornets.
Yeah.
They had like about 4 disgusting losses.
Yeah. And they still pulled it. They still won it. However,
right.
However you want to count their season. Yeah.
Right. When it mattered, they did what they were supposed to do.
Yes.
They took advantage of the situation. And so I'm like, look, today am I a little upset? Sure. But not that much. I mean, and again, if you're going to blame Coach Nash, hey, I'm with you as long as you're equitable. You can't blame him for losses and then only credit players for wins.
Yes.
So when we win, it's because of the players. When we lose, it's because of the coach.
Yeah, no. Because KD even said it. He came out and then he even came out and he said we came out with a effed up. I'm assuming he said effed up attitude. So that means right there, if KD's coming out and telling you we came out with a jacked up mind frame, that means either, like you said, people were not taking it seriously, or they had a bad, whatever the reason. And it's like, somebody like Khalil 2025 just said something to the extent of our defense is slipping, but it's like I let's take a rewind and remind you all that we just spent all that time with how many people being in protocols, health and safety protocols. This is arguably KD's second game back, where the man even and most of them all came out and said we were literally at home and couldn't. If you didn't have a gym or you weren't doing anything, we really didn't do anything for all those 10 days, right? And then the rookies that were killing it with some of the vets that were there, then they went into health and safety protocols, and they're arguably back for their first, maybe second game. And it's like, I'm looking at it as Nash is trying to get everybody back in the swing of things. And, it would have been nice to maybe see Cam Thomas get a little more play, especially since we were very much lacking of scoring in this game, especially after Patty went out. Yes, people that screams of where's Kessler? Why didn't Kessler play? And it's like, there's a lot of reasons for that, in my opinion. But, I just think people got to chill for a minute, because it's like I know majority of Nets fans thought we were going to have a very rough time once we got slammed with the protocols. And then we were able to have those awesome rookie games in the beginning and kept winning. And then we actually did even good as more people went out. And it's like, we walked away from that damn near unscathed, even though we lost everybody and still kept a great record. And it's just in the last 2 games, we've struggled.
Saint, that's the part where people don't want to give Coach Nash credit.
Yes.
And that's where you can see where you can give him credit, because even with all the health and safety protocols thing, he kept the team together where we were still getting wins.
Yeah.
And so when we, and I won't agree with the person who said our defense is slipping. Our second half defense tonight was disgusting. We allowed 40 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
71 in the second half. That's absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
But again, you look, I look at it as being a human emotion of not taking the Clippers seriously. The NBA screwed the Clippers because they made them play last night in Toronto, and then again on a back-to-back tonight in Brooklyn. Their coach is still in Canada because he failed the COVID test, and they ain't letting you out the country if you did.
No. Yeah.
So you know, the Clippers have so many things going against them. I could see guys not being focused. And to be honest, most of these guys are single. Last night was New Year's Eve. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, there's that. Yeah, that's true. We don't know what happened last night. If you want to look for,
they may have indulged a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
It's a human emotion, though.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I said like this is not the game that you lose your mind. And it's not the game that you just start pointing fingers. It's an embarrassment. I'm pretty damn sure the coaching staff and the players are a little embarrassed just from the quotes that I've read coming from them. You could tell in their responses that they were a little annoyed with themselves, and they definitely know that they could have done better. So it is what it is. You pick it up, you move on from here. But we did earlier talk about something, and I remember you were in the Discord, and I don't know if you're willing to talk about it, but you did mention something that in one of the spaces, a doctor came in and had mentioned something about 90 days exemption with Kyrie. Is that something you're willing to talk about a little bit?
Yeah.
We did have a couple questions, and it's like, maybe I'll just let you talk about the spaces and when the doctor came in, and then I'll like hit you with a couple questions, because that was something we kind of got into a little bit, but we don't have enough information of what's legit and what's not. So
well, what he was saying was, he came into the space a few weeks ago. He is a doctor in New York City, and he and his contemporaries have given 90-day exemptions to people who have come down being COVID positive. Okay. So, and the way he explained it was, if you're COVID positive, they will, as of now, give you a 90-day exemption where you're free from being vaccinated for 90 days.
Okay. So with that, my first question is if Kyrie is available for that, right? And the doctor will give this, like, not this doctor, but any doctor, whatever, like a doctor gives Kyrie this exemption. Now, my question is, who allows that exemption to take place where it would affect him and allow him to play home? Is that up to New York itself? Is that up to the NBA? Is that up to the city? Is that up to the Nets?
The NBA has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Because according to the NBA, he can play.
Okay. So
according to New York City, he cannot play.
And that's okay. Perfect. So that answered. So now it's up to New York City to say, we accept this exemption from the doctor to allow him to play, correct? Like, is that where, because I guess that's my thing, is like, yes, if this exemption is available, does New York City honor it and allow Kyrie to play home games?
Oh, New York City is going to honor it, because for a doctor to write that, they're putting their license on the line.
So
like they're not just arbitrarily doing it for a cousin who there's nothing wrong with. And something like that. The way he explained it is, if you have been COVID positive, they will write you a 90-day exemption. Period. Okay. And New York City has to honor it.
How does that and Age, if you do have a question for Jay, just type it in there and I'll read it out to him. I guess that's my question. Like, the next thing then become like, because obviously it's like it's being talked about, and we have been hearing this 90-day thing floated for a week or two now, and there's, people have been throwing their takes all around, like not quite sure what's, and then because other people coming in said, oh well, according to the CDC, even if you've had it, they recommend you still get they still recommend that you eventually get vaccinated, not like right long after that. So it's like, but I haven't really been able to nail down any specific like rule one way or the other. So I guess my question then comes next is, how does this pan out where that it becomes like it gets announced, right? Like, or are they just going to have them show up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this something that's in the works type of thing? Or is this something that you literally think is going to be announced relatively soon?
If it goes down, and I don't like using the word if,
yeah.
But anyhow, if it does go down, then the NBA will announce it, that he's been given an exemption. and he'll be eligible to play home games immediately or as of such and such date.
Because then that 3-month window, well, and how many months we have before the playoffs? That's what?
Playoffs start 4th month.
Okay, so realistically,
playoffs start in 3 months and 2 weeks.
Okay, so we could, I mean, and this is like, yeah, like you said, the if thing. So potentially we could get him back, barring he doesn't get vaccinated after the 90 days, where it's like, it sounds like that, like, I'm just going to go assumption, right? Like Kyrie's not going to get vaccinated at all, right? I'm just going to start with that. Like, say he's not going to get vaccinated at all. If this gets announced, then they announce it, like, say in the next week. So we're basically looking at like the next 3 months right before the playoffs start, and then he would be off it again, and then it would go back to just playing away games. Is the way I'm kind of like looking at how that time works out.
Based on the way that the rules are right now, yes.
Yeah. And
do I expect that to be the case then? No. And you know, you all got faithful following on the stream. People heard me say for months now that he was coming back.
Yeah.
And they've been arguing in the chat. We ain't gonna see him. He gonna be out through the playoffs. I hate him, all this other stuff. And then when it was announced in December that he was coming back, people were like, well, damn, he is coming back. Yeah. So
no, I agree. Yeah. For people that are listening that now, if you don't know about Jay and you don't know, and you're not on Twitter and some things, like Jay is a man that knows stuff, but he will always talk about it in certain ways, and he will say things. And I haven't yet to hear anything that he has said not come back to be true. I definitely was very skeptical of Jay when I first heard him on Twitter Spaces. Like, I always tell the story because the first one I heard, I'm like, who's this mother? Like, he's full of shit. Like, he acting like he knows something. And then little is the more I continued to listen and watch tweets and then listen to like official things, I was like, okay, dude knows his shit, right? And that's where Jay the janitor came from. Oh, I forgot to
the Real Royal.
Yeah, I forgot to put this up when you're speaking. Man. Yeah, this is Jay from Brooklyn. I forgot when you're on. This goes up. Okay, so the other question, I'm gonna leave that up because that is pretty much your time. Age had this question. When you're talking to me, he said, you hoped Kyrie is cleared by the Bucks game. Does he? He's like, well, of course Jay knows something, but he's like, don't just say stuff, but does he know something? Like, because what Age was saying it like, and we've been talking about it. Like, the thing that perked him up was when you said you hoped he was cleared by that time. Can you talk about that or no?
Now, this is actually, interestingly enough, this has nothing to do with the Nets. It's like one of my best friends has been with Eric Adams, like new mayor Eric Adams. He's been with him like for years, helping behind the scenes. And there's always different things in the works that we don't necessarily know about.
Yeah.
And so that's more me being optimistic.
Yeah.
As a best case scenario. But the expectation is that he will be playing home games this season.
Sooner than later. Yeah.
Preferably sooner than later, but,
yeah, exactly.
But the expectation is that he will be playing home games. And it's not where people are in panic mode. We're only going to have him for the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that will be nice. I guess the thing where I've gotten with Kyrie is that I'm like, and Age says he's like, okay, I'll accept that answer. Like, I guess where I'm getting with Kyrie is that I'm not willing to I've gotten to the point where I've accepted that I don't need all the answers right now, but a little bit of a motivation, or not motivation, but I'm more willing to accept the short-term solutions at the moment when it comes to Kyrie. Like, any little thing is better than nothing, right?
Jay, I just walked back in. How do you think that what's the most likely like way you see him coming back for home games? Like,
Well, he just explained that. He basically just said there's a possibility of him getting a 90-day exemption from a doctor, and New York City will have to honor it. Which, if that say it comes out this week, you would basically get Kyrie, and this is all whether he gets vaccinated eventually or doesn't, and we'll just go to the assumption that he's not getting vaccinated at all. That means we would pretty much get Kyrie back all the way up until the playoffs, and then it would go back to away games. Now, if within that time Kyrie comes out of that 90-day protocol and the 90K exemption, and he's gotten to the point, maybe there's the pill, maybe there's something else, who knows, or he's just gotten to a point where he's like, I'm willing to accept this and do this because I've been so locked in with the team. I love it. I'm not willing to give it up. Just give me this. Then we would have him. But we were just saying, I'm okay with this for now. Like, give me the away games. Give me this. If I hope this happens, then it allows you to get locked in again. And it'll be interesting because, as much as I don't like some of these guys that say these things, the one thing that is true, one of the true statements is like outside of way back in wartime, right? Like you really have never had to deal with this with a superstar of Kyrie's magnitude, where the potentiality of playing these half games, maybe home, like it's kind of relatively new for a very long time. We haven't had sports that players had to leave to go fight war or do something else in the middle of the season. And so now this is a fast forward version of that, where now you have a player that's having to deal with a different situation. So, and that's kind of what we were talking about. It'll be interesting.
Hey, Drew, let me. I'm not pushing your question to the side. Let me answer it like this though. Team just wants Kyrie healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because, and this is one of the funny things, is that like I use this analogy. Like we've watched boxing together, right? Yeah. I look at Kyrie as like a boxer who stays in shape even when he doesn't have a fight lined up.
Yeah.
A lot of boxers have to cut weight to get ready for a fight. They get
out of shape when they're not fighting. Yeah.
Kyrie not that guy.
No.
Kyrie is I've been saying that before. Playing shape. Period. That's the way he lives his life.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy literally who would hoop 365 days of a year.
Yeah.
He's that dedicated to his craft, and the guy is literally an artist. So, look, best case scenario, he'll be playing Wednesday against Indiana, in Indiana, because the man probably can go out there and drop 30 like it's nothing. Yeah. Sometimes the team wants to save people from themselves. And be like, look, long game. Just relax, man. I need you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if he's playing Wednesday or not. I would love it if he was, but,
Yeah, I think, it'll be, because I think I heard another thing that came out today saying something about just like, I don't know if it was Nash that made the comment, something about just like being amazed at like looking at Kyrie, but they don't want to like push anything. So they were not like, they were alluding to like, yeah, he could probably play the next game, but we're being cautious. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's a couple of people that kind of like made some comments that I just kind of got to read out, but like one where Age said, well, if Kyrie gets COVID in early April, goes into protocols, then gets another doctor's note for another 90 days, we straight. That is pretty funny, Age. That I you know what? I wouldn't surprise me, but
he should do that. The W strat. That's a strat for real. That's a strat.
No, but I know the rules may not be the same
then. Yeah. And then Jenica, like, are they trying to bring Kyrie back just to trade him later for more? No, because you got to think about this, right? Like early on, before anybody knowing that Kyrie was going to come back for away games, right? Like, and that's why I've always had those conversations is like, because if I'm a host on a show and it's an opinion show and I'm trying to come up with content, I'm going to bring up the subjects of do the Nets possibly have a line in the sand with Kyrie if he completely refused to get vaccinated? I said, you have to have those conversations. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean I'm right, but you would be stupid not to think about those things, right? But you fast forward to now, and now you know what the Nets are thinking. And that's been my whole point the whole time, was when I would hear something, I'd be like, well, I need to hear it from the Nets, right? You would hear something, then the Nets would come out and say it. It would answer your question, no more what ifs, right? And the trading thing is the same way. If they were looking to trade this man, they would not have brought him back at a halftime thing, right?
Can I speak to Jenica?
Yeah,
and if I'll say Miss Lawrence, Jay Lawrence, if I'm mispronouncing your first name. The idea that fans have latched on to the whole trade Kyrie thing has always been far-fetched. They don't want to trade the guy. Like, why would they? Yeah. I said this on Spaces earlier. I may have said this on you all stream a while back, or maybe not. Kyrie, in many respects, is the best player on the Nets from this standpoint. Yes, KD is a better player. You can argue that Harden's a better player. When I say Kyrie is the best player on the Nets, it's from the standpoint that the team looks best when he's on the court. Whether it be him and the beard, him and KD, or the three of them. That's when the team has looked its best. KD,
I never thought about that, but thinking about that now, that's actually like facts.
KD and the beard, when they get out there, sometimes you like, what are they doing? You never have had that thought when Kyrie is on the court.
No, it's true. Yeah, and there's an opposite in our chat that's like, because like Claude just said something earlier, and I was curious of what this means, but it's like you have the answers right now, Saint. You just don't want to admit them. I don't know what the hell that means, but then I go on to look at the rest of Claude Smith's quotes. From now until the trade deadline, I hope we're just advertising him for a trade.
For what?
So we know for know-how, and it's like, I'm sure there's life without Kyrie. If I remember correctly, Claude's been on our thing for a little while, like in watching streams, and I think Claude is pro getting rid of Kyrie. I've had my frustrations with the Kyrie situation, not so much more what his issue with him, more as like how it, like, I'm a Nets fan and I got $35 million asset just chilling, and it's been more of that frustrating because I want my team to kill. And I've always come at the end of it and said, hey, no matter what, though, at the end of the day, you're not going to get anything better than Kyrie on this team if you were to even trade him or not resign him in the end of the year. I'm like, having him back is what will make this team the best. Same. Even if you go out and make trades for some maybe semi above average players, yeah, it'll make our team like good, but nothing as good as having Kyrie back as a player.
A part of what's missing from what Claude is talking about, and what most people are talking about when they're talking about the idea of trading Kyrie. Never mind, even if you got what somebody may consider equal value back talent-wise in a trade, Kyrie is the heartbeat of the team. Has anybody ever paid attention to the mood of the team when he's actually out there? How happy everybody looks?
When we played the Bucks, I'm glad you said when we played the Bucks, bro, I could feel the energy through the TV those first two games. The morale was so fucking high. Like, the energy was just crazy. Like,
everybody is just, he has an aura about him. And the guys genuinely love him. That's why for every crazy thing stories that people want to drum up about Kyrie and these talking heads on TV say about Kyrie, have you ever heard a player publicly or anonymously bash him?
No. Outside of like either like a retired player or like
I'm talking
TV...
about, no, excuse me, I'm talking about one of his teammates.
Oh, of course. No. Nobody, I agree.
They've never done that anonymously. They haven't done that.
You've heard people say the opposite. You've heard people literally say the opposite.
Because people love him. Like, he is the heartbeat of the team. They love him because he just has that presence about him. He has that peacefulness. and he really brings people together. So the idea that you could just trade him and get this guy in and then that'll work. Trading for talent doesn't mean anything because, and I'm not comparing guys at all, but talent wise, didn't the Lakers win the Westbrook trade? How does that look right now? You can't say if I get the talent in there, then the trade will work. No, that's not how it works. Sometimes it's personality, sometimes it's fit. There are a lot of different circumstances that go into it. And you can, like Jude just said, you can see from your TV a lot of times how much the team enjoys having him around. And I say that to also say that, like, fans get upset with him and people say crazy stuff about him.
I'm not saying
like,
he's perfect, by the way. I'm not saying he doesn't have problems or like
nobody's
but
perfect.
I'm just on this team, like, and
nobody's
on
perfect.
Previous teams, like, bro.
But it's like, whether it be the talking heads or people on Twitter or online, even on the Discord, what have you, people be upset with Kyrie. I've never heard this man booed in arena or practice in the park. The man gets the loudest cheers of everybody. And Kyrie is the most selfless NBA player when it comes to fans that I've ever seen. And I've gone to hundreds, if not over 1,000 NBA games in my life. This man, when he comes off the court, will give his jersey, his shorts, his sneakers, his headband, his armband. He'll sign autographs. I mean,
but then there's people like this, Claude Smith. I don't even know if I've ever asked you this. Are you a Nets fan? Because like Claude, if Kyrie had Mills' contract, I would love him. Get out of here, bro. Come on, Claude. What's with the massive? I gotta know the massive hate, but come on, bro.
But if he had Mills' character, he wouldn't be Kyrie.
Yeah, exactly.
You love people for who they are.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we're all outsiders looking in.
Yeah.
According to his teammates, he's high character. That's why everybody wanted him back.
And quite honestly, it's going to get to a point that once they see him back in a Nets uniform and he's out there doing his thing, a lot of these people that are still hanging on with the, like, I get what you're saying, Jay, but I don't want the headache anymore. Move them. I get it. Like, there's that side you're always going to hear. There's always going to be the person that's going to be like, yeah, I know he's got amazing skill. I just don't want to deal with the drama anymore. Right. Like, that's their take on it. And it's like, whatever, you can't change that at the end of the day. But
every NBA champion has had drama on them.
Yeah.
Every NBA champion. It comes with the territory. It's like a lot of people did not want Harden until we got Harden, and now they love Harden.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. I'll agree. And to not so we don't beat the Kyrie horse to death here. The other thing that we were talking about, and we're hoping, is just in light of seeing how some of the role players that we had from last year, i.e. Bruce Brown, i.e. Blake. Paul Millsap just not really doing his thing. Javon Carter not really being what we hoped he was going to be, because when he came over, I nobody complains about the man's defense, right? But I thought he was going to be the guy that would come in third string. And this was before the Kyrie was completely out. And I was okay with the Carter. And obviously he's got a part of a bigger role than we've wanted him to have. But I figured he was the guy that was going to come in and figured he could do it, where he would play good defense at moments and then hit those wide open shots once in a while in the corners threes. Yeah. And I figured he could do that. Now, unfortunately, it's just his shot from three has been horribly inconsistent and they've been ugly. And part of me knows he can shoot better than that, right? Like, I know he's a better shooter than that. It's just for whatever reason, it is not working for us this year. So there's two parts to this. Like we all are screaming for more DDJ, more Kessler Edwards. more Cam Thomas, especially in light of what we saw them do when everybody went out, right?
Absolutely.
So there's that. And then you look at the guys that are just not performing that well and are too madly inconsistent, where they come out, Blake will come out and have one of those games that just makes you fall in love with him all over again. But the next bunch of games, he just goes back to being towards the end of his career. No hate on Blake. He's not a bad guy. He's a great guy, but the consistency is not there enough. Paul Millsap, love the guy. I know he's a respected guy, but he's at the end, and I feel like the dude wants to retire, in my opinion, right? Love LA. LA is great, but with the emergence of Claxton, that's becoming more apparent there too. So like I guess the question is, people are like, hey, are we going to see more of these like young guys? Because arguably our next game against the Grizzlies, a lot more faster, a lot more youth. And we've seen what they've done. So is it time to start interjecting the youth into this lineup more, i.e. Kessler, DDJ, and Cam? I'm not really putting so much pressure on Sharp because I don't feel like we need to do that yet with the emergence of Claxton. But there's that, and then you can tie that into and answer these any way you want. Is like, Art, do you think we're going to be trading some dudes or letting people go to maybe potentially give these young guys in? Or are we looking to maybe potentially trade a guy for a pick to let one of the young guys in the lineup? Or do you think I don't think we really have to go OD on trying to trade for anything crazy, but do you see anything in our future in that realm? So you can kind of answer, talk about it any way you want.
I would love for the young guys to play on Monday. I definitely think that they could help, whether it's because I'm expecting that either Bruce Brown or Bembry will start out on Ja Morant. That would be my expectation. At the same time, DDJ is a good defender.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind him getting out there also. I don't know at his ramp up if he's ready to play yet. With respects to trades, I would love it if they found a taker for Javon Carter. And my expectation would have been that Cleveland would have been a taker had he not been making so much money. Because Cleveland's Cleveland.
That's crazy to think that he's making.
It's funny that you say that because Cleveland, I think, was a little bit less than $4 million under the tax. So they were looking for a point guard who wasn't making that much money. And because Rondo is on a minimum contract, he fit the criteria. And then they were able to get rid of Denzel Valentine. So, and I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but it may take an injury on another team's point guard for another team to say, okay, we'll take Javon Carter and send us back somebody with a comparable contract. The other guy in Saint, you and I have gone back and forth with this. Yeah. I promise you, I did not do any further research, but I'm almost positive. Now, you've said otherwise, but I'm almost positive Bruce Brown cannot be traded without his approval.
Yeah, I think I've come to that, just because of some of the stat places, or when you actually look up they don't do a good enough job of explaining, yes, he can be traded after January 15th, but they don't put the caveat that it needs his approval 100% the whole time. I think what I was reading kind of screwed me up in the sense of where it was saying, I was assuming that that no trade clause went away at the 15th.
Maybe,
so I've kind of, and I don't know. I haven't been,
and
that's the thing though, is that's where I came to with both of us talking about it. And then the more I try to do, research, I can't pin anything down that says it's the full season no trade clause or after the 15th that goes out the window. So whatever. But I don't think they're gonna. I don't know, dude. It seems as much as they're putting Brown in commercials and pushing the vaccine with him, I think he's got a solid relationship with the owners and Sean Marks that I don't think that they're. I don't know. I just don't see him leaving. And if I see Brown leaving, I think it's in the off season.
I could see that also. but he would be someone that I would try to trade.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah. Even tonight, he misses too many bunnies that I, for the life of me, like he'll dunk it when he's by himself and he'll flex his muscles and do all of this. But when somebody's in the lane, the man will not go for contact at all. And I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Why he shies away from contact. I would listen, depending on who if they would want somebody else, I would do him for Cam Reddish in a heartbeat. I don't think Atlanta would do that, but he brings a value on defense to us. But at the same time, right now, you can't convince me that Bruce Brown would be worthy of a playoff rotation spot. And my thing of who are the 9? No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I've been thinking that for the longest, ever since the start of the season. He's not been good enough to me. That I don't see it. I don't see him being good enough as a playoff rotation.
Hey Chubbs, I'm with you 100%. That's the part where Saint, you were talking about different guys and what they're doing. Because our team is so deep, I don't feel a certain kind of way about Javon Carter because he's a back end of the bench guy. Yeah. So I'm not going to feel a certain kind of way about him. My focus is who are going to be the arguable 10 guys who will be in the playoff rotation. So right now, you take out the two-way guys because they're not eligible for the playoffs at all. You take out, so you like, okay, we got 15
and that
guys.
Sucks too because Kessler Edwards is the two-way guy. Ugh, that hurts.
Right,
Ugh, that hurts.
But you have to look at who are the top 10 guys.
Yeah.
And right now, Bruce Brown is a fringe top 10 guy.
Yeah.
And so that's my thing. Like, I don't hem and haw over the back end of the rotation as much as other people do. But are we healthy with the top 10? And like my mind is drawing blank on who the 10 are. But I mean, it's obviously the big three: Joey Shuttlesworth, Patty, Clax, LA. So that's already 7 guys. Bembry has got to be over Bruce right now. So that's 8.
He has to.
That's 8 guys right there.
And then whether you're going to float in like Cam Thomas has a potential. Like right. I don't think Shannon Sharp. I'm not Shannon. I keep saying that
there you go again.
I don't think Day. I don't know. Day could squeak. I mean,
I don't think he would.
I don't think he will be, but I'm just saying, Blake. Like push comes, because of Blake. But I'm just saying, push comes to shove. Like if you need it,
it's going to what would the 10 or so for a playoff rotation look like?
Yeah, and then the other factor that we're not looking at here is as that gets tighter, knowing Sean Marks, he will be looking at the buyout market. He will be most likely entertaining some trades, probably, i.e. Javon Carter. I don't think that anybody would trade for Paul Millsap. So I'm not saying I'm just saying if I'm looking forward and he's going to improve and say he does do a trade or he does do buyout market, like the guys that I could see that would be first to go, honestly, in my opinion, would be a Javon Carter and a Paul Millsap. I really do. Right.
I actually think there is one team that would trade for him and that he would be willing to go to in a trade. Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because they do love him down there. That's true. And
he lives there.
Yeah. That is another truth. Because I honestly just my gut just tells me dude, his head is not in the NBA right now. Like it's at home with his little kid, with his new child. Like I just get that vibe, right? Like dude either would be send me back to Atlanta or I'm done, right? Like that's just kind of the vibe I get. But
yeah, I don't think he would accept a trade to
anywhere else.
Portland. Really. I mean, something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it might. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Millsap thing comes down to Atlanta Hawks, or he's cut and that's it, and that's a wrap. But
I didn't even remember James Johnson. That guy should be in playoff rotation as of right now.
Who? James Johnson?
James Johnson.
Yeah, that's true.
Just based off his physical style alone, that's going to change the whole thing. I think he's going to show real value in the playoffs.
Hey, Chubbs, he's the one guy, and I'm pretty sure I may have said this on your stream before. He's the one guy who actually fouls people.
Mm-hmm.
And when he fouls them, you like, damn, he really fouled that person.
You saw it today versus the Clippers.
Right.
He fouled the hell out of Gabriel.
Out of Gabriel, right. He's that one guy who still gives he gives the fouls when you started watching NBA.
Yeah.
He's that one guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the only guys in the NBA who fouls like that. And people are like, what does that mean? It means a lot. As soft as this league is, some guys get fouled that hard and this shakes them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. I do have to say this. Because I just got breaking news from AJ, who's presently not with us. And he said, because I let him know that he's like, whatever you do, don't go 3 hours today. But I'm laughing, like, and then he's like, oh no. He's like, dude, Jay's there, and he's like, just let him know. He's like, he's offering Nets Kingdom is offering you a max contract next year. AJ wants to offer you a max contract for next season. So AJ put that out there just so you got the off season to think. You got the rest of the season, the off season to think about the max contract offer for next.
Y'all
game.
are funny.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely. I mean, whatever. People were tripping that we lost the first seed. Whatever. We're in second seed off by 1 year. Like whatever. Like there's no panic there. Today was an embarrassment. Yeah, there's no panic there. But I definitely think that in the last 3 weeks, there has been some things that have come to light, i.e. with the young guys, i.e. with some of the energy. I think also finding that Javon Carter is not, he needs to go, just plain and simple, not for any other reason that it's just not worth it, and you could somehow either give somebody else some more time or you can turn him into an asset somehow. I think you can't ignore what the young guys have brought into the team. And I think you have to assess some other areas because I'm not saying we're old and slow, but there's definitely some players on this team that you look at and you're kind of like, okay, we could do better. And we just did better when you weren't in there with like
Why
younger
you doing Javon like
legs.
That?
Who are you
Why
talking
you doing
about?
Javon like that?
I'm not doing Javon's doing himself. I ain't that motherfucker's doing it all on his own. He doesn't need my help. Exactly. That's where I was going next. That man does not need my help one bit. Like, matter of fact, if you go back to preseason streams, I actually stuck up for the man because I thought what he was going to give. And
he played good during the preseason.
Yes. And he also, like you saw a little bit of what he did with the Suns. Granted, he wasn't going to get a ton of time playing there because he's behind Chris Paul and Booker and Payne and all that. Like, dude wasn't going to get there. But for what we needed as a third string point guard at that time, seeing how he played and his body of work so far, you couldn't be mad at that trade, especially when it got you a first round pick, i.e. Day'Ron Sharpe. Right? Like, so I was not mad at that at all. And unfortunately, we've had to see more of that man than we've all probably wanted to. And he just hasn't been consistent. If he had been coming in and hitting that open three, doesn't even have to hit. If that man was just hitting half of what he was attempting, I don't think people would be mad at him because you know the expectations. But And I don't think I crucified Claxton. I think we all were frustrated with Claxton in the beginning of the year and even part of last year at times too. Claxton did not fill what he was supposed to do and definitely made some immature decisions. And he's done a 180. So whether that's somebody got to him, talked to him, whether the elders on the team have gotten his ear and putting him on a right track, he's been listening, and you can tell he's been putting in the work. And if you remember, my complaints then was, what has the man worked on? And he didn't show you that he worked on anything. But now you're seeing that he's working on something. And that's all I ever said was, you give me 10 and 10, almost 10 and 10, Claxton, then I'm cool. I'll shut up. Like, do you? But you just have not stepped up. And I won't apologize to Claxton, because the reason why I won't apologize is Claxton is finally doing, Jay, tell me if I'm wrong or right, Claxton is finally doing what he has been supposed to be doing.
AJ.
Right? The man missed he missed doing summer league. Nah, we're good. We don't need to go. And that pissed the Nets off. Jay will back me up on that.
AJ, I know you heard this, AJ.
AJ's not, I don't know if he's listening or not, but
yeah,
anyway. But that, hey, Jay, we do appreciate you coming in at the last, like we weren't gonna, like I said, AJ didn't want to go 3 hours, but he's cool now with it. But those are, we had those questions today because we're interested in the, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe here's another question, because the other thing that we've been debating about, contract offer for Clax in the offseason. A lot of debate on what he's going to get offered. Is he going to get that 3-year, $52 million max that he can get? Are they going to get him on a team-friendly deal, or is some other team going to come in and try to swoop, right? Like, that's been the big debate, yeah. People are debating it, bro. It's a hot subject because he's starting to do good. Now everybody's like, pay the man, pay the man, pay the man.
That man's price has gone up.
Yeah. Do you think you think Josiah and Sean Marks are going to be like, just do it?
I think he's worth it.
3-year, $180 million. That's
no. What's his max? The only thing that you can get
for no, the most we can give him
is 3 years, 52, right?
Is 452.
4 for and 52. Okay. I think we were having him at 3, but 4 at 5 too. That does kind of lower. That lowers.
Jay, how you feel about my contract? How you feel about that 4-year 200? That don't sound good. You were silent when I said it, so I'm just asking.
Well, that puts him at 13 mil. That puts him at 13 mil a year. Now, does that doesn't really affect our? You don't think our taxes get affected by that, or like? Because isn't it like you can go over without? I'm trying to remember the contract, how that breaks down.
No, that's why that's the most we can offer him.
Okay.
So another team may be like, we'll give you 460, and if he just wants to chase the bag, then you respect it because it's not something you can match. But because he was a second-round pick, we're hindered in how much we can offer him. And it's also why he's eligible for a contract a year earlier than the people who were drafted the same year, because he's a second-round pick.
Yeah. All right, and then this: do we need to see the same what we got right now the rest of the year into the playoffs? Is that what we're, or like, say the man just disappears? Are we still on that same height?
I've seen more than enough.
So your opinion's
but
changed.
I've seen, and I'll say it's difficult for me to say it like that. I already expected this from him.
He just wasn't doing it. Yeah.
The idea that he hadn't done it yet was what was most frustrating. But there was the expectation of this was already there.
Yeah.
Pardon, they doing fireworks outside.
No, that's all good.
But
oh my God, they shooting. That man, Jay, they shooting.
That's hilarious. Nah, hell no. Not that close to my window. No, with him, he provides a certain level of value that, and it's sad, and it may not have been said on your stream, but I've seen it and heard it so many places where people act like certain bigs are easily replaceable. So like they said the Fro was easily replaceable, and now people wish we still had the Fro on the team.
Yes, I remember that. And I was trying to tell people, no, motherfucker, like you don't know what gift Jay, that man was. Oh.
And so, but that's the same thing with Clax right now. It's like that guy is a lot better than people thought he was going to be. Except Sean didn't have those same trepidations. He expected this.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, actually. I mean, because it's like when the Beard trade went down, right? What were people arguing? They were arguing for the most part that the Nets did not have enough to entice Houston to make a deal with us. Nets had more than enough to entice Houston to make a deal with us, and it included not including Clax, because imagine what we would have looked like had we have gotten rid of the Fro and Clax.
Yeah,
these guys are not that easily replaceable. So 452, look, it's a lot to pay him, but he has a skill set. Listen, for everybody who's saying that's a lot to give this guy, next season, there will be times that KD, Clax, Kessler Edwards, DDJ, and pick a fifth defender are on the court together. How you gonna score on us?
Yeah. It's gonna be some tight. Yeah.
It's like, and pardon me for talking long. It's like when you saw, like, during this stretch right now, where there were moments where Coach Nash would put two bigs out there at the same time on the perimeter. So like it would be he would have James Johnson and another big out there at the same time. And it's difficult to score. And he would have them up at the 3-point line. He would have James Johnson and Clax out at the 3-point line. The last game or 2 games ago, James Johnson and Clax were out at the 3-point line. And then on the baseline was Harden, Patty Mills, and whoever the third short guy was. And teams had trouble scoring on us.
Yeah.
We just need more defenders. And he fits that bill.
Yeah. There's a couple things when I saw in chat, like somebody asked, like, would I have kept the Fro? Me personally, like I as much as I would say, somebody, Callaway said, she said, do you think we should have kept the Fro and traded Claxton for Harden? I would have loved to keep in the Fro and let Claxton go. That's my own personal opinion, because Jared Allen was my favorite net at that time. But I think, like Jay's even said it, and it's just like, in order for the trade to work with everybody, like, the Fro had to be in the trade deal, right? Like he had to be in it in order for it to work. And I don't know that it would have worked the other way around, because the Fro was ready to contribute, ready to be a starter. And there was no way you were making that trade without him, right? Now, would it have changed if Spencer Dinwiddie was healthy? Who knows? But I even think, Jay, you even said at some point too, that Jared Allen was just a staple of that trade deal, and they were willing to let that go to get Harden.
He had to be included because Houston won another first round pick.
Yeah.
And he was, because had Dinwiddie not been injured, he would have gotten a first round pick, but he was injured.
Yeah.
Nobody was giving a first round pick for Clax because they hadn't seen Clax play enough. Now I'm damn sure they'll give a first round pick for Clax. But the Fro was the only other person who would get a first round pick that Houston wanted.
Yeah. And people got to understand too, right? I don't mean to interrupt you, because I'm seeing people, they're like fresh, like somebody, Claxton doesn't have the size. Claude Smith's like, he's injury prone, waste of money to invest big bucks on him. It's like, but you got to also understand too, that we are also in a different position now than we were prior to that trade, where we don't have a ton of picks. Last year's draft is arguably going to be the last draft where we have that many people. DJ, you'd have to watch the whole stream, bro. It took many turns, but it's ending on a great note. Things got a little crazy in here, so we're having fun. But yeah, it's just like you listen. I mean, I know I see what Claude says, but it's like, can you not ignore? Like, even I've been critical of him at times, right? And I think for good reason. But I've also said, hey, do this, and I'm cool. He's doing it, so I'm cool, right? I mean, if you can keep the man and you don't have to like get into it, like, and you obviously, if another team comes along and they don't outbid us, and if Clax is about the money and wants it, then we know what he's about and he goes. You know, that it is what it is. But I mean, you can't deny what he's doing for the team right now. And yeah, he's not got the huge size, but part of the reason.
Can I ask Claude a question?
Yeah. Because so far, Claude's the one that wants Kyrie gone, is obviously doesn't want us to bring back Claxton. And the more and more I see all the thing, but I keep seeing you, before you answer, I keep seeing you say all these things. It's like, you'd have us team be nothing, but what are you looking like? How are you making the team better? Right. Like, but go ahead, Jay, ask Claude a question.
Who Clax is injury prone? Who are you replacing him with?
Yeah, that's kind of what that was the same question. Like, you want Kyrie gone, and you're not willing to pay Clax. Like, what's your plan? Because you're now even saying, I think team chemistry is more important than a skilled player. Well,
I'm not saying. Yeah. Let me give a little bit more depth to the question that I'm asking Claude. Because this is not just towards Claude, but anybody else who may have a similar feeling. Because I get the Clax's injury prone thing. Here's the way that I look at it. After this season, Blake Griffin is going to be a free agent. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be a free agent. James Johnson is going to be a free agent. DeAndre Bembry is going to be a free agent. Nicholas Claxton is going to be a free agent. Bruce Brown is going to be a free agent. Who else am I forgetting? I think I'm forgetting 2 other people who are going to be free agents. We have between 8 and 10 people who are going to be free agents after this season.
Yeah.
Who are we replacing? You have to realize, if you don't keep your own, so if we don't keep Clax, we cannot fill his position with anyone who makes $13 million, because we are already over the tax. So we cannot do a sign and trade for someone. If that makes sense. Yeah. So we can't sign and trade for players because we're over the tax, and you get hard capped when you're over the tax, and we're already over the hard cap. So we can't do that. So who are we replacing Clax with that makes, I don't know, $4 million, $3 million? Who makes Javon Carter type money? He's one of the only people who's going to have a contract after this year. If we're gonna, for argumentative sake, Harden's a free agent and Kyrie has the ability to be a free agent also. So right now, the only people under contract for next year, Patty Mills also has the ability to be a free agent. Right now, the only people under contract for next year are KD, Joey Shuttlesworth, Javon Carter, and Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe. Those 5.
Yeah.
Those are the only 5 who have contracts after this year.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I said that earlier. I said something to the effect of, how did I put it? Now I just kind of lost my train of thought, but you're going to have to sign people anyways, right? And it's like, oh no, here it was. I said, and the other thing too is, why would you want to keep young guys and you want to get an influx of youth into this lineup, especially next year, because it's like, with as strapped as we are, and it's like, even with those TPEs that could be used next year, it's like, you can't just keep signing older players and hoping it works every time. Like, you need some level. The league has gotten a lot younger and a lot faster. And if you want that to work with this current scenario with our big 3, and you obviously are going to have the issues of filling out our lineup every year. I've said this time and time again, every season you are going to have a issue filling out the roster with 1-year contracts. So keeping somebody like Claxton, hopefully we don't have to, we lose him to a big bag and you can sign him to a relatively like decent deal that benefits us. Like, he's a young guy that you want to keep. Yes, I know we have Sharp, we have other guys waiting in the wings, and that'll be great. But, do you want to every year get into like losing a young guy just because you're not going to sign him or give him a little money, but you would rather keep signing Paul Millsaps and stuff like that and hoping you get like a gift like Patty Mills? Like, no, thank you. Like, that's the beauty of those 5 rookie drafts. And then trying to keep somebody like Clax is at least it keeps us young, and you limit the impact of having to just sign a bunch of like older cats, or, maybe get lucky like the Lakers and be able to sign, Malik Monk to a vet minimum. But I doubt that's going to happen very often, especially after they didn't see it work with the Lakers. But I mean, as long as Claxton's playing the way he's playing, I definitely think you keep him. Let's just hope it's not at a level of, and Claude says it's okay to keep. Yeah, it's just a matter of how. Well, I mean, yeah, but again, what are the Nets willing to spend is going to be the big question. But I definitely think that 13 million, because we're saying like between 8 and 12, I think, is where a lot of people were resting. But at this point, I think you do hold on to him, because it would be sad to watch another asset that we had just leave, especially if you can't get anything back for him. And with the emergence of him, I think if Claxton was playing the way he was playing in the beginning of the season and he was still playing that way now, I think we've even had that conversation. Like, if he doesn't turn it around, dude may very just well be on the trade block. You never know. But he's doing now what everybody expected him to do. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think the whole point of bringing all that stuff up too is that we definitely have some interesting things that I think are going to happen before the end of the year, i.e. Kyrie, Harris coming back, potential of some people leaving, maybe buyouts, and just overall just getting better. I mean, that's the one good thing, though, is I do think we are set up to get extremely better before the playoffs even hit. And hopefully that works. Hopefully it all like goes the way we're hoping it does. But with that, does anybody have anything else to say? Julian Chubbs, I don't know if you fell asleep. I know you. What's up?
I got like one more thing to say.
What's up?
Javon Carter's bald.
And he's 25. No, I'm joking. But Jay, we do appreciate you coming on. Max contract is on the table. You heard it here.
Shout out, AJ. Shout out you.
If you're still in here, AJ, I don't know if AJ fell asleep or, according to you, he's working the streets. You said he's
W janitor in the chat. W janitor.
Right, 80 people still hanging around. I love it. But yeah, man, it was a good. I know you've been. Oh, and I'm not going to throw your business, but I just hope you're feeling well. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I feel great. Thanks.
Good. And the family's good. The kids, everybody's good.
Yeah.
Them little rascallions.
Them little janitors.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Good to hear. And I appreciate you coming up, dude. I know you did your thing on Spaces. If you guys haven't checked it out and you haven't heard it yet, and you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter and get in those Spaces, especially run by Jay and Brandon here. I'll just throw it out there. Oh, did you see this? I think you saw this, man. I'm still trying to figure out who did this, Jay, but did you see this? This shit is hilarious. Let me take you down. But you saw that, right?
Oh my God. I think, did AJ post that earlier?
No, somebody in our Discord chat posted it, right? I think some chills or whatever. And I was like trying to figure out who made it, but there was nothing. So I put it on. Like, this thing got me like 189 likes, 24. Like, I'm trying to figure out who did this, because this is just genius, bro. Like,
oh, I love that.
I'm sorry. That shit is just comedy, dude. But here, let me just give you so people can, because if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter and like get at like get on those spaces because they're fun and it's definitely a good time. Follow Jay at Jay from Brooklyn, at Jay from BK, and then the other Brandon. I'm trying to remember. Let me see where his do you know his handle off the top of your head?
BL City 5, something like that.
Yeah, let me
something
see.
like that.
Yeah, Brandon at BL City 5. Yeah, they usually run a spaces right after the game, and it's always good stuff. Sometimes I get mad because I have to stream, but I try to get in there right before we stream and then come in at the end, depending on how long we stream for. Today was longer than we expected, but it's always a good time in there, good community. It's fun. So if you're not a part of the Twitter community and Nets, just get on and follow Nets people if that's what you're into, and then get in the spaces because they're fun. So, but Jay,
a good time.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you. Oh, real quick, you think how are you feeling about the Grizzlies game? Little nervous? Gonna be a little. Are we gonna get the Laker treatment from the Grizzlies, or you thinking
Am I nervous?
Are right?
I'm not nervous about any game, so nah.
All right.
Do I think we can lose? Yeah, I think we can lose, but maybe a loss would be a good thing in the grand scheme of things.
3 in a row. Ooh. That's gonna send some Twitter. That's gonna send some Nets fans in a tizzy. We lose 3 in a row, dude. People are gonna start.
I'm sure.
Calling
Discord and the chat.
Trade everybody. Oh yeah, people are gonna lose their minds. And Twitter too. Twitter will lose a bunch of people on Twitter are gonna lose their minds. Discord, chat. It's gonna get toxic as hell if we lose 3 in a row. But
3 in a row. Savior comes back on Wednesday.
Oh, let's hope, man. Let's hope.
That would be crazy. But
let's hope. But all right, y'all. Appreciate you sticking in. 80 people hanging out. Got us 120 likes. Appreciate it, Jay, for the W pulling up at the end. Always a pleasure, man. Respect and love you and your family. And we will hit you guys, and we'll see you back Monday. Oh, Jay, tomorrow we're doing in our Discord, we're doing a stream party for semi-pro. If you haven't, I'm sure you've heard. If you haven't seen that, it's funny as hell. Basketball related movie. We're gonna do that shit tomorrow. So I'll send you a thing when we're doing it. But peace out, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
All right.